live.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. We are live.
We are live.
This is the 26th New Wave live stream.
26 live streams.
Jeez
Yeah,
Louise.
we got a special guest this time, though.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we want to welcome Jamond from Definition Cigars. Thanks for coming on, man.
Man, thank you. Thank you, fellas, for having me.
Dude, yeah, I love your hat. I know it's, some people may feel different, but I love your hat personally. And
I mean, DJ, I've been proud.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, your hat. But
I've been proud to see that.
Yeah, you sent us some cigars. You sent us three different cigars. You sent us three different cigars, all with a different band and shape. Do you want to go over like the blend and like which ones they are and like the composition and everything?
Yeah, so I sent out 5 different packs just based upon some of the energy that I've shared with DJ and Matt, you know what I mean, that we talked in Vegas with. So there was some of you guys got something that somebody else didn't in their pack. Okay. But some of you guys did get the Genesis, which is the newest cigar that I've created and had the opportunity to create alongside Luciano Morales, and we made that cigar in his factory. So that is a medium-bodied cigar for those of you guys that had that in their pack. We're
gonna talk about that, man. I can't wait to get in that whole thing, bro.
Yeah, we'll get in that. So there's the Genesis, there's the Pig that I saw Alchemist hold up. That's a pretty cool cigar. There's the Equalizer, it's a dark blue band. It is the OG of the line. OG meaning the oldest of the existing line that is created. Some of you guys also got the Goods. It's a Salomon, I believe. Yes. And then
gorgeous.
The last one, my memory doesn't serve me. I almost tricked myself out and trying to give everybody a little bit of something different in the pack, to be intentional about giving you guys the opportunity to smoke different shit while we're on here.
Nice, man.
That's awesome.
What's the composition of the Goods?
Yeah, so the Goods is I sent out and I'm not for sure. There's a Maduro and an Habano of that cigar, but the wrapper both are from Ecuador. They're Ecuadorian. Habano and Maduro. It's a Honduran binder on it and Nicaraguan fillers in that cigar there.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah,
this thing is
something right on. Yeah, I appreciate that. That cigar was really cool in the experience and making it. It was kind of a late bloomer relative to the line. And one of the things in being one of the small guys in the industry, I don't have $75,000 to put towards marketing, right? To get it in front of each and everybody. So the cigars have a tendency to be late bloomers in terms of the industry once people get their hands on them and know about them. So that's one of those. But wanted to just share those with you guys today. It's a cool experience. And how many people are doing a box press Salomon? So that was fun with experimenting that one too.
You don't see that often. I think the only other one I could think of is that Quesada one, which is quirky. That's like a weird quirky one. This is like one that's like, I want to smoke this.
Yeah, Hound Dog. I haven't smoked that yet. I haven't smoked that, but somebody else had shared the same comment with me.
Yeah, that's it. That's like a Solomon, or it's like I don't know if I want to smoke that. It's like this is like I want to smoke this thing. It looks delicious.
Yeah, it looks
Quesada one. Yeah.
And hey, Jamond, this thing, if I remember right, is this Ecuador? Is this Ecuador?
Yes, sir.
Ecuador?
Yeah. Alchemist is Ecuador as well. That the pig has the pig's been around about 3 years. It's next to the Genesis, and the Genesis is obviously new, and you have the Luciano presence behind it. So obviously people are going to want to attach to it just based off that and smoke it. But the pig is the most sold cigar of my line outside of the Genesis. Some people are turned off by the size, but once they smoke it, they're like, man, the flavors and how the cigar performs relative to combustion with the ash stacking and becomes a conduit to the smoking experience. And I think it's been reviewed a little bit around some of those specifics, but it's a cool smoke.
I know it's just a cold draw, so we talk about this, amongst ourselves.
Sure. Yeah.
Doesn't always translate into the smoke, but dude, I'm getting like dates off this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna taste that in it, but it's interesting, man. It's cool. I like a good pig though. I know you said the size, but I think the pig is a cool Vitola.
Yeah, I do too. I'll tell you just a quick story, and I'll let you guys take over. Don't want to talk too much, but that cigar.
You're the special guest. You're the guest, man. Talk all you want.
Man, I'm a cigar fiend. This is what I like to do. But that cigar was originally in a 60 gauge size, and it just didn't carry its weight relative to what I wanted to experience in a cigar. So during that period of time, those of you that had the equalizer in their pack, I was experimenting and dancing with that whole tapered foot and end of the cigar. So we came up with a pig, and it was a poor man's feral is what the mindset was with that. So that the taper shape of the cigar, obviously with the biggest diameter of it being in the middle of the cigar, it created a different experience from a regular Toro 60 gauge cigar. So that's what you have here.
Cool, man. Cool. It's off to a good start, man. This is good.
And the Solomon is great, and I do not like Solomons. I think most of them draw terrible, and this is fantastic.
It's drawn perfect.
It's wide.
Yeah, it's drawn perfect.
This is
it's wide open. It's wide. So I did a small box introduction to the industry called the Cold Summer Volume 1, and there's going to be a Volume 2 at some point, but it's a 5x54 Figurado, and DJ, with that one, that cigar makes you kind of wait. It has to get over that cone, so to speak, before it opens up. Whereas what's cool with that 7 1/4 by 57, and when you box press it, while you can light it up and still kind of get into it, that wait for it to open up on the cold draw, and even while you're smoking, it becomes sort of immediate when you can put fire to it, and that's the magic. Is like Alchemist said, he got that dried fruit note. He said dates when he was cold drawing it. When you put fire to it, how is it going to change the complexity of the cigar? What is it going to do? And that's the magic, where you have wrapper, binder, and filler marry with fire, and hopefully you get a decent experience for what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love the bands on these things, man. I was watching one of your videos earlier today, and would you mind just sharing, just for viewers, these band designs? Because I saw it, but I'd love to hear it from you.
Sure. So the bands were wanting to initially stand out. The band started out. A partner of the company is a tailor, and he had some old suit fabric. And if you look at some of the original pictures and some of the posts, out there on Instagram or social media, you see a bulky type of band that really isn't functional to the cigar, but it invoked thought to say, what is that? And the very first cigar that we created was about wanting to stand out. You know, a lot of resources go into creating a cigar, and a lot of time, money. So to put another cigar on the shelf and it not stand out to anyone was not the goal. We use that as you know, I don't want to say it, but it is what it is. We wanted the eye test to catch you first, and then hopefully you smoke the cigar and be like, damn, this cigar for $10. I mean, shit. Like, let me get a couple of these, right? So that's where it started at Alchemist, and then I was introduced to the opportunity to work with a company out of Boston, Massachusetts, that made the colors of the rainbow, and the banding was more functional for the cigar. It wrapped around it. It wasn't bulky. It was something that you could wear. It becomes jewelry and that sort of thing. So that's how it came, and each color differentiates the blend one from the other. So it took a life of its own, that banding and people, you know, just being people wanting to know more because it's not your typical band.
Yeah. It definitely stands out, man. And are you going away from the fabric and to like more conventional like actual material, like paper?
Yeah. Hound Dog, we are as a company, and while it is painful, I have to be able to have the opportunity to scale. That banding is a manual process. Working and trying to execute that at the factory level in Nicaragua has presented some challenges there. Unless I am living in Nicaragua and can completely manage that, I made attempts, and it just hasn't worked. So we are, and there's some Vitolas out right now that have the paper banding on those, and it's the design is similar to the current fabric band, but it is a satin paper that has texture to it, has feel to it still, but it's also given us the opportunity to put these cigars into cellophane as well, that make sure the cigars get to the retailer in a good condition. Obviously, as you guys know, the cigars typically come naked in a box and arrive to you. So there's some opportunity there sometimes when the UPS driver decides to drop kick a box before taking it inside of the cigar shop. Right, exactly. So just wanting to do things that respond well to the brick and mortar shops. This decision didn't come lightly at all. I spoke with retailers. The name of the cigar is on the satin paper that's wrapped around the cigars. That was a big thing for the retailers because retailers said, some people come in and say, "Hey, you ain't got the purple band." And he's like, "Man, I don't order cigars by color, and who's this?" And so that the whole goal around that is to support the brick and mortar shops and to get a good product there, get it faster. With this satin paper, it enables the company the opportunity to have it performed at time of shipping from Nicaragua in country to come to me, so I can then distribute it out to the folks. But like I tell everybody that while the bands are cool and that's great, I mean, I don't think I would have the opportunity to be on this panel and talk with you guys if people were smoking the band. The cigars have had to been kind of good to have an opportunity where people smoke it. Don't get me wrong, the bands have been great, but I'm hopeful that the cigar community can understand the why around doing the change and still support the brand.
For sure.
Yeah, and
Can I chime in?
No, go for it, dude. Go for it.
No. My bad. I didn't mean to step on anybody. But dude, I want to give you a compliment just in general though, because we've been talking about this a lot. But the fact that like with the amount of time and effort that you put into the banding is one thing. That marketing is everything, and that's huge. It drew everybody to the cigars. And it's not many people that can be a boutique brand and be a startup brand to feel like you've been around forever. Like really, Definition Cigars, like it looks like, man, you've been around for a minute because you fit right in with every cigar that you can put out there. They put you on a shelf, it looks like you belong there. Mm-hmm. But the best part about it is what you were just talking about, that you also, like, once you're getting into the cigars, people are talking about how good the cigars are as well, man. So you got to be proud of that, because that's major, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Keelan. Thank you for that comment, man. That means a lot.
For sure.
That means a lot.
Yeah, man. And I'd imagine it's the process to manufacturing. It probably takes less time to apply a conventional band over a fabric band, and then costs, everything. And if you're in the state of expansion, which I'm guessing you probably are, you want to make more cigars.
Thank you. Thank you. That is the goal. That is the goal, to make more cigars, to have them ready for the customer to experience what Definition Cigars is trying to convey. Like I said at first when we was off camera, just attempting to do my small part and sharing my experience with tobacco and specifically cigars and wanting to do that. That is the sole goal around it. If I could, the bands are cool. Do not get me wrong. And you know, some folks are like, man, the band's going away, and I'm like, man, that's cool, but only thing you're doing at some point is wearing the band. I'm hopeful that you're enjoying the cigar. Like, and then I get it, the marketing side of it, but I mean, you know, who wants to be that guy? So would I still have the opportunity to talk to you guys if I had a cool band but a shit cigar?
Right.
Well, we never mind. I'll say that for I'll say that for. But no, the dope part about that is like you can always do that again, you know, for limited editions. You know what I'm saying? If you do something that's limited, you can put that fabric brand back on, and people can appreciate it from there. But if with who you are as a person and with the cigar smoking the way they smoke, the real cigar people gonna stay there. And if they're there, everybody else is gonna follow along. If it's looking cool, people gonna look cool with your cigars regardless. But the aficionados, we gonna rock with you.
Yeah.
Right. And I appreciate that. And that's the thought that I had, my man, is going with that energy, and if the cigars are arrived to the retailer in a great condition, and we don't have the UPS stuff going on, and you know, I'm just hopeful that we continue to rock together. So, man, that's the goal, man. I just want cigars to be great for people to smoke and to continue to enjoy Definition cigars. Yes, will I miss some of the pictures of people looking like Thanos with all the colors on their fingers and that sort of thing? Yes, I will. But at the same time, man, like I want your experience in smoking a cigar to be one that you can say, man, hey, a Definition cigar can be in my rotation this week.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me a little bit more about the Nor, the Cameroon. Because I know friend of the channel, friend of all of us, D-Love, he loves that cigar. I don't know if you spoke to D-Love before, but he freaking loves that cigar. So tell us more about that.
I mean, so the Noir and a few times the name of it has come up. It was created inside of COVID, and a lot of folks thought that, you know, at the same time during COVID, we unfortunately had to go through the George Floyd situation, and there was a renaissance there where I think Black Americans really responded to that, to want to try to spend their money with companies that were doing things the correct way, that look like them. But I tell people that the Noir, while that name is French for black, it came as a result of, inside of COVID, not doing anything. I was watching a lot of noir films, those black and white noir films,
and
gritty detectives, little idiosyncrasies inside. Yeah. So the name came from that, and with being inside of COVID, I had the opportunity to really work on things, being grounded at home, and the Cameroon came about. It was produced the same time as there's a Noir Connecticut as well out there. It has a purple band on it, and so the only difference between the cigars is the wrapper. The Noir Connecticut at the time in 2020, the wrapper was only 3 years age, but it graded out as an A wrapper inside of the factory, and we rode with it, and it responded well. But that Cameroon wrapper, it's a Cameroon wrapper that has an origin point of Ecuador, and the binder and filler is made up of 3 different regions of Nicaragua. There's Jalapa, Condega, and there's Esteli tobacco in the binder and filler of the cigar. So it just came together by working. So I couldn't travel to Nicaragua during that period of time. So I met my guys in Miami. So, and going through COVID and that sort of thing, we're in a cigar shop that wasn't supposed to be open, but the guy opened it, and we're in there tasting and trying these cigars. The master blender came over, and we're rolling up joint vitolas of the wrappers and leaves. It was a great experience going through it, but
doing all the
because of the COVID restrictions, we couldn't follow our normal process, but the cigar just worked out. It's a blessing that it came to be like it is. But I would say, that cigar being introduced back in 2020 and just now, based upon some of you guys that's affiliated and talking through it, it's really now just people are just knowing about it, and the profile and how yummy that cigar is.
I mean, any Cameroon is okay in my book, but that's I've had one so far, and it was damn good. I have a couple more, so I need to get in on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That cigar's cool.
Any cigar, like this guy D-Love, he has an exceptional palate. Any cigar that he can be okay to, it's like, all right, we got to hop on this because D-Love likes it. Or at least, that's pretty much anything that guy says you smoke. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
What are you smoking out of your portfolio right now? What's like your go-to or go-tos like that catches you?
Man, Keelan. So I'm an experienced guy through the definition line. Because you go through and you create these cigars and in terms of myself, in creating cigars, it's an energy, and I know, and a lot of you guys may understand where I'm coming from, but you get inside of a cigar lounge and inside of inside of a conversation with a customer, and your aficionados and people with knowledge, they want to talk wrapper, binder, and filler. and that's cool. But for me, the cigars are an experience. When it comes to creating, what was going on, what was my mindset, where was I at that period of time in my life. So what I'm finding myself smoking more than anything, a part of the line is the Genesis, and the or the Gen 413, as it's labeled, but its name is the Genesis. And I hadn't created a cigar or started working on any platforms for about a year or so. So my mother fell sick. We thought it was pneumonia, and it ended up being stage 4 cancer, lung cancer. So November 10th, it'll be a year, be the anniversary next Friday. She passed away. So I had some, man, I appreciate that. I had some conversations with Luciano before. We wanted to do something together, and my creative juices came about to wanted to honor my mom in that way with a cigar, because everything that is me with cigars originated from our family, my grandfather, when I was a kid. So that cigar for me is therapy. Keelan, is where I'm going, and that's a space that I continue to try to stay in dealing with that. So with Luciano, the Genesis came about in creating that. We found ourselves in just talking about doing cigars because it maybe made sense with some of the other stuff that he's doing now. But we ended up finding ourselves really having things in common and liking each other's spirit. So the Genesis, the name is around a new beginning of a new relationship. But the energy in creating that cigar was to honor my mom, and the cigar, the blend came together as the universe would have it on her birthday, April 13th. So that's why on the band it says Gen 413. So the whole energy behind the name really being solidified was that the blend coming together, mine and Luciano's beginning of a beautiful friendship relationship. But without the birth of my mom on April 13th, there's no me. So April 13th being the genesis of me being on the earth and be able to create cigars. It just all made sense.
Yeah, it's a great tribute, man.
Man, that's beautiful, dog. That's wonderful, man. Like you ask a question, you expect to get an answer, but you don't always expect to get that much depth. And when it comes to being an artist and being a craftsman and a creator, there's a soul, there's a spirit behind everything that you're doing, man. It's like when you're making an album, there's a time and space when you're making that piece of art. And that was just phenomenal, dude, man. I was touched by that, honestly, dude. That's amazing.
Keelan, man, I have a hard time really telling that story. A lot of retailers, who like the cigar and it sells well, and they, understand the Luciano part, but they're like, man, come up and talk about it. And I have to be in a specific space to really tell that, because the cigar is not just another cigar. For me, none of the cigars are with me. We can go through the line. I can tell you specifically where my energy was. So, Keelan, to that point of when you're creating something, when an artist creates something, I remember visiting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there was a hotel stationery of U2 writing out titles of a record or things like that. When you're just trying to create something, there has to be a meaning, and you have to be in a specific space. And I was geared towards that therapy that I was seeking. And with cigars and my passion for it, I found myself there with that cigar, and just was blessed to have Luciano want to help me through that therapy. With creating a cigar, with creating a cigar. I mean, you guys know Luciano, and whether you like his cigars or not, the spirit of the man that he is really exceptional, and helping me through that time period and wanting to do something really cool and dope with this cigar. So I just hope that if she could say or could give feedback on the cigar, that it would be one that she would give me the thumbs up on.
Yeah, man.
She's speaking through the feedback, man. That right there tells you everything. The fact that it landed on her birthday, bro, and then everybody's feeling the cigar and it's growing. She's speaking to you, man. And I like being agnostic. I totally believe that, man. You know what I mean? So like that's major, bro. Woo.
Yeah.
Wow. Just a story. Just a story. Like I said, man, I have a hard time with it because you tell that story.
Sharing that with us.
I'm not trying to use that story to sell cigars. That's just the real of why that cigar is there.
I think that's why, like, it's a great cigar, but it's also a great meaning behind that cigar. But I think that's why your cigars are so good in general. You don't use that to sell what they are. They're good on their own, and then there's meaning behind it.
Yeah. So man, DJ, not to switch subjects, but the whole meaning of the name of that Salomon, the good, is had the cigar, really liked it, and I'm like, man, this shape and size is cool, and it looks like a baseball bat to me, right? So just how it tapers down. So I did a Google search and said, what is the hottest baseball bat out right now? And it was a bat called the Goods. And I'm like, that is perfect for a cigar. Wow, hey, what are you smoking? I'm smoking the Goods, right? So
we moving these goods all across the country.
From a street perspective, the goods can be taken as something else, right? So you kind of a little bit with the mindset of what the cigar is. So it was a cool opportunity to say, yeah, man, like, it looks like a baseball bat. The hottest baseball bat right now is the Goods, but there's a connotation in terms of the cigar that is really cool as well. So I had fun with the name on that one, guys.
Yeah, and
well played. That's out the park,
too, man. This thing is great.
I'm so jealous of y'all right now.
DJ, do you have the Habano? DJ, I was trying to mix up, and I didn't confuse myself. What was in your bag, DJ? Is that the Habano good?
Yeah, the Habano. Yeah, I got the Habano, the pig, and the equalizer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got the Habano too.
Yeah, it's nice,
really good. Yeah, it's smoking like a dream.
Hey man, I'm gonna be one of my questions. Oh, sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Keelan.
No, I was just gonna say that was gonna be one of my questions to you. Like, just going back through before we get on, you with a bunch of nerds right now, man. We always going back and checking on the cigars that we reading,
Sure.
And I wanted to know what your inspiration was behind the cigars, and you're giving us that, like, before I even asked that, man. So that's the stuff that we want to hear, man. I love to hear what ideas pop in your head when you're smoking it, when you're when you're going through the process of building and constructing these cigars, man. So that's super dope. That's clean.
Hey, Keelan, it's important for me when I go into a cigar shop and do an event or around that, I want to share the experience with the person that I'm talking to that I had. So a lot of cigar companies, and some of them work. This is not a downer, but they create various sizes of the same Vitola, right? For whatever their reasons is. And some people ask me, so why didn't you do it in this size? Or why isn't there 2 or 3 different sizes of this blend or that blend? And Keelan, thank you first for giving me the opportunity to share the story. But the whole direction is that the experience that that I had in creating this cigar, whether it's Robusto, Churchill, whatever, like I want to share this exact experience with the cigar that I had when I smoked it, and I think this is the experience that is best in terms of this blend. I want to share that with you, and I want to talk to you specifically about why this cigar. So the goods, the Salomon and the box rest Salomon, why isn't it in a standard 6x52 Toro? Why isn't it this? Because the experience in creating a cigar and going through the process, it didn't match what a definition cigar experience has become and what I wanted to share. So that's why I'm specific, and there's different shapes and different sizes of the cigars, is because each one has its own experience in you smoking it, and I want to commit to that.
I hear it, bro. Love it. Love everything about that.
I was gonna say, man, you're in Dallas, right? So send some of the goods to the Rangers, man. Telling the story behind it. It's a baseball bet. So
for sure, Alchemist, man, good plug. That was man, that was pretty cool. I was in a bar out there in Dallas, inside of Dallas, when they won. But you know, man, like it's funny how Dallas is. And DJ knows this. So while I think everybody was rallying around the Texas Rangers, there's just this kind of this Arlington thing that kind of like separates everybody a little bit. Like, so for instance, when the Mavs won the NBA championship, it was the Dallas Mavericks, and the parade was inside of Dallas, and there was just super duper camaraderie that was there. So like everybody is pleased and happy, don't get me wrong, but there's still this like, DJ, do you know what I mean? Like there's like while everybody's still celebrating it, there's just like this like we're not celebrating it as hard as we did when the Mavs won. But it's cool.
Yeah, dude, no, for sure. The Rangers, man, dude, I was so happy. So I grew up in Dallas. When they lost the back-to-back World Series, man, I just gave up on baseball after that. I was
I was like, hey, you want to know what Ron Washington deserves? I mean, I hope that the Rangers, man, he should get a ring. I mean, I know it wasn't part, but man, Ron did some good things with those squads, getting there, man. He really did. You know what I mean? You know, like Juan Gonzalez and Pudge and some of the older cats out there, man. Like, it's Ron was man, just unfortunate, man. Kind of a bad break in some of those series, you know. I was living in Dallas then, so man, Alchemist, DJ, you guys know, like it was just bad breaks for them in some of those years, man. But he's worthy.
Yeah. No, I agree, man, dude. I loved Wash, man. He was awesome.
Talk.
Yeah, I hope they do something for him, because he definitely, even though it was 10, 12 years ago, he was
right.
He was a building block to the franchise where they're at now. I mean,
get that man a plaque or something.
Yeah, something. Dude, I heard they were planning for like 250,000 people for the parade, and apparently like 750,000 showed up or something.
Yeah, and they kept the crowd away. I had a friend of mine that went, and I mean, it was almost like pandemic-ish. How far they kept the crowd back. I don't know if y'all saw some of the pictures, but you know what I mean? Like for instance, the Denver Nuggets, when they won the NBA championship, you know, they was right there. You get the energy of the crowd and that sort of thing. But nonetheless, man, it's something to celebrate for the city. Good deal. But
they were shutting down. They shut down schools. Yeah, people were pulling out their kids so much. Teachers had no one in their classrooms. Like, it's crazy.
Nuts.
That's crazy. Are you a Nats fan at all, Jamond?
Man, like I told you, 1,000%. I am Nats all day. So sometimes when you if you see me around the city, I got a 2019 commemorative World Series hat that I wear with the Nats. But yeah, I mean,
the gold.
That series was so awesome. I mean, because we wasn't really supposed to be there.
Not just the series, but the entire playoffs, like knocking out the Dodgers, Howie Kendrick, fucking Howie Kendrick grand slam.
Yes, yeah, Hound Dog. We wasn't supposed to be there. Timely hitting, and then we got to the World Series and Steven Strasburg. I mean, he hasn't. His body broke down on him from there, but man, he gave us that thing, and huge Nats fan. Like my brother's house that I'm at right now. I mean, like when I do come home, man, he's a huge Nats fan too, but we would sit here and watch baseball, and man, we was like, man, this team ain't gonna get it, man. Like, damn, man. And man, we got to the postseason, and as you guys know, that's the excitement with baseball. When you get to that postseason, it becomes so strategic and timely hitting. And if you got pitching and a decent bullpen, you gotta punch a chance. So man, that was an exciting time. That was an exciting time.
Yeah, my wife, she went, I think, was it game 6 or 5 or whatever the game was in DC. And of course, they lost they won every away game. So my wife went to a home game for DC, so they lost that game. But
for sure, yeah.
The only World Series where each win was at the away stadium.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was cool, but yeah. The rest of the teams besides the Caps, Caps we got one a few years back, but man, rest of the
Caps they're not looking so good this year.
Hey man, hey Hound Dog, you want to know what I think? We are just celebrating. We are celebrating Ovechkin. Trying to get him there, trying to get him to the gold record. But the rest of the team is kind of looking like shit.
Not good, man. Yeah, but my wife, she's a huge Nats fan. She listens to a Nats podcast like pretty much every day throughout the season. She'll listen back to this and she'll love it. So that's
that's awesome. Salute to your wife. Salute to your wife.
Absolutely, man. She actually, because I used to be a Royals fan because everything KC. I get all my KC fandom from my dad. So I was a Royals fan, and it wasn't too hard for her to pull me away from being a Royals fan, especially right now, like going all in for the Nats. So
yeah, I remember as a boy, the only recollection, or if somebody asked me about the Kansas City Royals, what do you think of them? I think about
Pine Tar.
No. George Brett running out of that damn dugout that
Pine
time
Tar.
and charging. Yes, charging. That is what I think about that. It was and during the World Series, he was in one of the boxes and they showed him there, and I immediately thought that the whole Pine Tar incident. Immediately thought about that thought. Yep.
That's good shit.
Yeah, my mother-in-law bought me a book, an entire book about that incident. It's like, I like the Royals, but I don't know if I like them that much to read a fucking book about
it. Dude, how long was the book? Like, how much can you? Was they talking about what he ate before he came to the damn stadium? I mean,
it looked like a 250-page book. I'm like, how the fuck does this exist?
Let me get the case notes on that, homie. I can watch the video.
Right.
Yeah. Give me a 10-minute YouTube video. That's all I need.
Facts. Like what are we doing? I mean, the only excitement was when, the accusation happened and the charge happened, but up to that, you're gonna talk about
That's it. That's it.
He hit a ground out in the first inning, and what? Okay.
Yeah.
I bet somebody got paid off of it though.
Yeah, true.
What's up?
And being Sorry, one last thing. But being a Nats fan, how do you feel about seeing Scherzer get another World Series win on another team?
Man, you want to know what? I'm fine with it because, man, Max gave us. Max was good for us, man. He didn't. You know, we wasn't burning his jersey when he left town. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We traded him. I mean, we bounced around. We got rid of him.
Yeah, exactly. We got rid of him. You know, same way, you know, everybody had a certain type of feeling about Juan Soto. Man, shit, Juan Soto, man, came through and wanted to get paid and didn't want to get paid in DC. I mean, he wanted to play meaningful baseball. Yeah, of course.
All the shit about leaking, like I can't blame him.
Yeah, I can't blame him. So that's where I'm happy for Scherzer because I think this may be his last ride on into the sunset. Really, you know, his body's starting to break down on him too. And you know, he tried to give it a go, came back early and couldn't do it. So, man, good for that dude, man. Salute.
The only problem I had with the Rangers this year was that their anthem band was Creed. So that was the only thing I couldn't.
Yes, I mean,
hey, Creed's coming back right now, man.
God, dude.
The only thing I couldn't necessarily get on board with, but
man, hey DJ, man, Creed coming back is like saying like the hip hop legends tour that's going around right now, and it's like saying one of those groups are coming back. Like
it's
like
funny.
Salt and Pepper coming back. You know, like
trying, and they're all hopping on
like a new Salt and Pepper album.
So you have these dudes that a whole generation doesn't even know who the hell they are, and they're on like a child's app. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. Man, you say that. So like you see New Edition, and man, New Edition is probably damn near 60, right? So you see them, and it's cool because that's our age group, and we want to see that, and we right there. But you know, you see these clips of Bobby Brown only doing one out of every 3 songs because he's got to go on the side of the stage and take a seat.
Get the oxygen tank. Bobby got to get the oxygen to come back.
Man, Bobby can't do all them steps that everybody else is trying to do out there, you know.
Yo, every little step got a different meaning right now when Bobby out there. Like every little step means something, bro.
And then you look at it, you look at a dude like Mick Jagger, who's like he almost is ready to replace the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt back in the day on HBO. And he's still out there gyrating and doing all kinds of wild shit.
Like a chicken.
And she's like, man, what is this dude like? And you gotta imagine how hard this dude partied because he was in that age group or that day and age of the punk bands where they partied hard. There's stories about Rolling Stone, and this guy is still out there. 2 good hits.
Yeah.
Bobby had 2 strokes and a heart attack. And my daughter's 8, so I've been putting her on the New Edition and Bobby Brown. So she saw the Every Little Steps video. She saw a couple of his bangers, and then she saw him recently. She was like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Baby, that's Bobby Brown." I was like, "We get there at certain points. Like we can't stay young forever."
Bro, man. So I got a homeboy from Dallas that does photography work, and he's good. And somebody hired him to come to Aruba. And man, he had an opportunity, man, to spend some time around, the group there. And man, he was like, man, he's like, Bobby Brown was my favorite artist. And to be able to experience some time with him, he wasn't on no fan shit, but he was like, man, shit, Bobby was there smoking Newports, and you know what I mean? Like, he was like, damn, I'm worried about Bobby. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, man, Bobby got to perform tonight, and he saw him, smoking a couple of cigarettes, and that's that. I'm not saying not now to turn here as far as that goes. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows, man. They know how Bobby get down.
Yeah. So he was like, man, hopefully Bobby can hit them steps, but they work it out.
All right, I gotta ask you, man. And again, my family, a lot of my family's from Virginia, so a lot of Washington fans, right? How happy are you that Snyder's out? Open up that.
Man, extremely. Man, Alchemist, extremely. It was just bad. It was bad. It's guys. It's like the y'all four and myself. If we were billionaires and we ran a cigar company, like we were cigar smokers, like we were the customers inside of the lounge. That's what it felt like with Dan Snyder. It was didn't feel like there was business being handled. You know what I mean? So like with some of the accusations, it's like, man, all five of us got more money we know what to do with. We got the cigar company, and we go into LA, and we decide to grope, be inappropriate with females because we got this money, not thinking that, man, we're supposed to be running a company at the same time. And there's a certain decorum and way about doing it. It just seemed like that it was the kid who got rich, bought their hometown team, and said, "You want to know what, man? I bought the Redskins." And well, hold on, we still got to operate them. I can't act like Dirk Diggler out here and not forget about, man. Like, I still want the Redskins to win. Like it seemed like, man, the whole energy from him was lost at buying the Redskins and being a fan. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we got to run a tight company to get this team back to glory. No, it stopped at I own the Redskins and I was a hometown guy. We just gonna.
What's crazy?
We're gonna do whatever.
It's the whole Mid-Atlantic though, because like I grew up in North Carolina. We didn't have a baseball team. We didn't have a football team. You know what I'm saying? We had we were missing so much. So the Redskins was everybody in North Carolina. Like if they in the football, it was long before the Panthers came. We were scared.
Right. We were scared.
You know what I'm saying?
You were scared.
You missing that. You got this whole area that's counting on you, and we watching them just like dissolve. It was hard for people who grew up diehard Skins fans. It was hard.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
one of the lowest points. I mean, I'm going to caveat this. Besides all the scandals and stuff, but I'm just when I saw them fill up the top of the stadium with the FedEx color boxes because they couldn't fill the stadium, so they made it look like FedEx. I was just like, this is such
an Alchemist
Bush League.
Alchemist, that shit happened before it became like so he still had he still had the equity in the business relationship, so people weren't necessarily pointing out the obvious things that guys like you and myself going to games and seeing like, man, shit is off in here. Like this isn't what it's supposed to be. So man, I believe he had an opportunity to change the narrative because it was the Redskins. It's one of the core NFL teams, and because he was such a playboy with it, and thinking that he was bigger than the NFL. They ended up, coming for him. The boys club ended up turning on him. That the NFL, that owners group, when you become an NFL owner, owner in an NFL team, excuse me. I mean, it's the ultimate boys club because the league owns a day. Well, let's change that. They own pretty much 3 days. They own Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Really. And when you start fucking around, with that sponsorship money for a company that owns 3 days of the week, man, we got to get you out of here. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't fuck
Donald Sterling.
Hey, as the old folks used to say, you can't fuck up the church's money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think y'all got a good ownership group, man. I think Josh Harris and Magic and them hopefully will do some good for y'all. So
no, Carl, it did not take a year to come up with the Commanders. It was all bullshit.
They was trolling. They were trolling with that shit for sure.
Yeah.
Alchemist, how's the pig?
Dude, it's good, man. It's real good. Is it?
Man,
If you
Go
can't
ahead.
say, don't worry about it. But is it Ecuador Habano?
No. That's Ecuadorian Maduro wrapper there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it truly is. It truly is.
It's good though, man. It's got a good balance of like a roasted kind of like almost got like a roasted nuttiness, but there's like some little bit of like underlying creaminess too. So no, I'm enjoying the hell out of it, man. It's really good.
And that the one of the cigars that's I'm not a fan of super ash or anything like that. I'm not opposed to it either, but in that Vitola size, I think that the ash acts as a conduit to the fire and to the experience of the cigar. Man, DJ, I see you. That is hanging out.
I mean, it's there, man. It's there.
Y'all see this
That's
quality
beautiful.
construction right here. Y'all
That's
see
right.
what's going on in the comments.
That's
Y'all
hanging
know.
out.
Pay attention to my man's over here. Yeah. Y'all see what's happening.
So man, what's
Jay,
like your favorite if you have one, like your favorite leaf to work with? Like what's one if you don't have one of those, what's one that maybe you're excited to work with in the future, just something along those lines?
Yeah. So recently, so if you haven't ever experienced the opportunity, and I'm not advocating this, you do it at your own leisure, but pulling a leaf out of the hanging barn, if you happen to be somewhere where you can grab a leaf that's fully dried out, and rolling that leaf up and making a a small joint, if I can use that term, with it and smoking it. That really, while you can't do it a whole lot because it'll make you sick, but it just opens up your palate. Cigars are an experience, right? You can only really fully appreciate what you taste and have an experience, and smoking different vitolas. That's important. And I had an opportunity to do that, and it opened my palate up to be really open to tasting different things. So I tasted a leaf from Nicaragua that comes from a region only in Nicaragua, and it's called Xikar. And Patron uses it really well. And we was blessed enough to have some of this leaf to insert into the Genesis.
Okay.
And it is just so very, very cool. So I'm a Padron 64 fan. If you tell me, man, I got one cigar to smoke and you can't smoke no more, and I love all of my cigars, I'm picking that hands down. That is just, and that leaf is a part of what they do, and it is just a really, really, really cool leaf on its own. So that is a leaf that I'm really, really a fan of. It's because of its being a Nicaraguan leaf and the Padron family being who they are. They really have a tie-in onto that leaf there. So there's not a lot of it running around, but it is a really, really, really cool leaf.
That's cool, man. What region did you say it's called? What's it called again?
It's called Xikar. It's I'm gonna tell you guys the specific origin point of it. Give me 1 second, man. It is cool. I keep it in my notes because I talk cigar shit all the time. So I'm glad you guys asked that question.
That's what we here for, Jack.
I want to share that. I want to share that.
Well, I appreciate you giving me a real answer too, because I could see some people be like, "Oh, they're all my favorite," you know.
No, I mean that's not me. That's not me. It is. It's grown in the region of Masatepe.
Okay. Okay.
It's Yeah, specific to Nicaragua.
Okay.
While we talking that talk, man. So being you're owner of your own brand, you had to start from somewhere. What was that process like of just loving cigars and then getting to the point where you're working in factories, you're testing the fumas, you're working with someone like Luciano, and I'm pretty sure you got other friends in the industry. What was it like growing into that, that person and discovering cigars that way, going from the dude that's in the lounge to the dude that's in the factories right now, trying your own cigars, putting it out there?
Man, Keelan, it's really, man, it's really been, man, I don't know. I'm a guy that doesn't feel, man, that this blessing is worthy of myself. My love for tobacco started with my grandfather, who was a cigar smoker, and was known for that inside of our neighborhood. And man, cigars were just always a part of everyday life. When my grandfather was home, he was a truck driver, but just he used to get mail order cigars from Thompson's Cigars back in the 80s and 90s, and he would smoke on Bandits, cigars, Maduros, Habanos, or whatever. So, man, I attribute. You heard me say that cigars are an experience for me. So, cigars were a part of holidays, a part of time that I spent with my grandfather. His thing was when I was coming through high school that he always wanted to be back home by Friday night, because on every Thursday night we would go out to McDonald's and we would have a meal together before my Friday night basketball game. And he would therein listen to the radio broadcast of the basketball games that I was playing in, and smoke a cigar like we would when we go to the game. He would sit there and listen to it on the radio and smoke cigars with it. So that's been a part of kind of who I am in terms of what cigars mean to myself. So fast forward to becoming an adult and a lover of the leaf and that sort of thing. I had an opportunity to just create relationships and created a single cigar. Keelan, from there was it's not like anything. Probably all you guys in your professional career, or even with what you do on your podcast or your reviews and that sort of thing, you come to find that, man, shit, damn, I got something here, right? Like, and whether God given or man, I'm just okay at this. So that morphed into having some level of respect inside of the community and being able to have certain conversations in certain rooms.
Right.
So one of the things that you guys all know, I believe, is that relative to specifically a country like Nicaragua, is that, man, you just can't get into there and start dabbling into cigars and getting into their leaves. I mean, it's I don't speak the language, first and foremost. So, there's a protection that they have over being able to give you access to their cigars or
their bread and butter.
Being able to, they don't. So, coming from a place of being humble and where I'm at allowed me the ability to have some conversations and give me an opportunity to have some input on what I want to put out. And having that, Keelan, grew to where I have the Vitolas that I have now on the market, and being able to share specific energy with Luciano to allow me to walk into the factory. And, this is this is no NDAs. This is none of that. You know,
Y'all just vibing.
he just, man, Keelan, just 100% vibing. And you know, here we are. It's just about, man, being appropriate and being right, and that sort of thing. I guess, man, I don't know. I just feel blessed that I have the opportunity, man. Like right now, and I'm sitting here with you guys, and you know, I came to my brother's house. I had talked to him earlier, and I'm like, man, do you mind if I do an interview at your house tonight? And he was like, man, you know, it's my brother. So he was like, man, no worries, cool. But the point of saying it is that, like, and this is a big deal for me. Like, I don't take these things for granted at all, because I am just a guy that was walking in a cigar shop, wanting to find a great cigar and wanting to smoke it, and to have the opportunity to talk about some shit that was in my mind, and had the ability to work with people who had more experience and knowledge about putting shit together. But I know what I know in terms of taste, and I think that can only come from one place, and I don't take it for granted.
You were us, man, that's what makes us so happy to have you on, because you were us. Like, you really appreciate the leaf, you appreciated being in the community, being in the lounges, and appreciating the smoke and all the tobacco leaves. You just took it to that next level. You took it to that level where most people are trying to get, man. So we can't do nothing but applaud that, man. And we happy to have you on for that reason. That's what makes the conversation flow the way that it flows right now, because we really are like enamored by what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you see everybody up here, they're appreciating your cigars, man. It got to be love to have people when you're going out and doing events and you're speaking. I've watched videos of you speaking to people, you on the microphone, and people are there for you, dude. They're there for your brand, man. That's love, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank you for saying that, man, Keelan. It's you know, it's tough. It's tough because you know, this is a highly competitive market, and man, the only thing that I can really offer is my hands-on approach, my genuineness, and ultimate customer service to the people who purchase cigars. That's it.
What is the feedback been like? Yeah, there you go. Show that. Yeah.
There's some feedback.
There you go.
Yeah.
The feedback has been, man, cool. I mean, Keelan, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I do have, man. I met, you know, me and DJ had chopped it up on Instagram, and social media is cool or whatever. And D Love, if you still on, man, salute you, man. D Love had hit me with a DM. And his wife, so man, hey, all up. But man, the feedback has been one of really cool energy. I'll tell you guys a quick story that I haven't shared. So the cigar is named the Genesis. So there was a cigar that a company created that I won't name, created some time ago, and a lot of resources went behind the cigar, and didn't do well in the market. And in my trademark rights group, when we did our research in the name, this cigar didn't pop up for whatever reason. And Luciano, when we talked about it, he said, Jay, this happens every PCA. He said there are people walking around that do this. He says, you got to trust that you have people that really dig what the company is doing, and when you produce a cigar or commit to a cigar, they really dig it, and they're gonna smoke it. They're not gonna get caught up in the name. So we had to go with the Gen 413 because of that. And man, to answer your question, Keelan, that was the biggest response to, man, how people really felt about the brand is just that, my man. So I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Like I've seen it. Like, you know, real shit. they still smoked it, still was about what Definition Cigars was put out. And you guys got to also understand was that cigar had no band on it. It was so the PCA had a PCA band on it, like a sample type band on it. But when we released it, it was a one of those bands that's garden variety, but they knew it was a Definition cigar, and they still responded. So, man, salute to everyone.
Nah, salute to you for like creating something that's stronger than the name itself. It's stronger than the marketing. That right there, it tells everything. We in the past few shows we've been talking about that a lot. And behind the scenes we chop it up in a group chat, and we talk like good fellas. We really care about each other as friends. So we're talking about the industry, man, and that means something when you have the product itself outlast all of that stuff that come with people being litigious and people being, nitpicking about names and trying to shut you down. You're surviving all that, man. That's major.
Yeah, man. There's been a couple comments posting up here, man. I appreciate the comments there, especially Justin, man. I appreciate that thought, man. That's all I got. In terms of the person that just said that they are interested in cigar rolling, I do not recommend you starting your cigar rolling journey with a 9x90. I don't know who spoke there. In terms of men.
Wow, man.
He's a special.
I don't. In terms of men, I don't know how many men are gonna try your cigar at that length and diameter.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for Taurus on this chat. Watch out for Taurus.
Yeah, man, that's our guy, yo.
Yeah, dude. I had a. By the way, man, this Maduro, this pig Maduro is so good, dude. I'm getting like really good pepper. It's rich. It's robust. Like really, really good, man.
Yeah, nice.
But I had a friend who just told me, she was like, I know you're into cigars, and I saw the cigar. I thought to get it to you because it was expensive and stuff. And she was like, it's something called the Woody. And I was like, please don't get me the Woody. No. Please don't give me the
But the views, John, the views.
Yeah, the views. It's going to take me 8 hours, though.
Hey, Alchemist, man, if you really want to really get cool with some of your reviews, if you ever happen to travel to the island of St. Martin, I got a friend down there that owns the largest cigar lounge in St. Martin, but he's titled his cigars and he's trademarked it after the airport code. He has a cigar called the BBC.
Okay.
yeah. I ain't smoking that cigar, but I get
the airport code. Just the airport code.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
So he has the airport code that says XXM and the secondary band, says big black cigar, but
yeah. We good.
All right, I'll smoke. I'll do a 2-part series. I'll do the Woody and then I'll do the PC.
There you go.
You get the views, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna be roasting in the comments, bro. You already know I'm in there.
Oh yeah.
You got to get him. I think he's expecting it at that point. Yeah, if you ever travel to St. Martin, it's a tourist spot. He's got that there for you. He's got that there for you.
Hey, it would make for a great content. So that's funny.
100%.
Outside of the 1964, what else that's not in your brand, it's not Padron, what else you smoking on that's kind of like keeping you going too?
Yeah, man. So I love the Ashton ESG, the Toro size.
Yeah.
That's a really, really cool cigar that is slept on because, sometimes we get caught up in price points and sometimes some of those price points don't match the value of the cigar. But that cigar right there is amazing. Is absolutely amazing from a taste profile. Keelan, really it is. Next on my list, man, nothing. Just those are the two, Keelan, and I smoke everything. I'll pick up the love of my life cigar is Tatuaje Havana 6, the torpedo. That is the love of my life.
Okay.
That is the love of my life.
John about that. That joint money. That's absolutely money. Also,
Only the torpedo. I don't like any other the Vitolas. Only the torpedo. I really love that. And Pete ended up doing something with the Veracruz with that blend or what have you. But that ESG Toro size from Ashton and the Ashton Symmetry, the Churchill size only.
Yes.
The Churchill size only is my bag. So those are the three cigars that if I walk in any lounge, I'm picking up a Patron 64 Imperial size, an ESG in the Toro, and a Ashton Symmetry in the Churchill.
Dude, I'm so glad you said the Symmetry and I'm so glad you said the Churchill because I like it in the Churchill and I like it in there's another size that's a thinner ring gauge that I like, but the ring gauges on the Symmetry that are a bit bigger, I don't like as much. They're not as good. But when you get the Churchill,
they're not
or one of the
other Churchill.
Dude, and if you give those things enough rest time and some dry boxes, they are phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
They are a super cool experience, man. So those are the three. No, and I smoke everything. No disrespect to any other cigar company, but you guys asked the question. If I'm walking in a lounge, those are the ones that I will pick up. To patronize the lounge if they have.
No doubt.
Is a
like to hear that,
Churchill?
man.
Is that? Sorry, Keelan. I was gonna say, is a Symmetry Churchill? Is that like a 48, or is that like thinner than that?
No, it is. I know it's not a 48. I want to say it is a 52. It's I want to say it's not a 54. I want to say it's about a 52. Hound Dog. I really do. Man, Alchemist. I mean, am I off there? Is it a 52? It's about a 50, 52.
I looked it up right now. It's a 49. So
it's a 49. Okay.
It's called the Prestige. So yeah, it's a 49. And then I think they have like a Corona Gorda size. I think that's
I didn't like that one. That's not for me. That's not for me.
So yeah, the ones that are like the Toro and the Bellicoso, I don't like as much, but dude, that Churchill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bellicoso, I'm not a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the Toro. The Toro was very mediocre for me.
Yeah,
but the
that's
fucking
a lot. Toro is mediocre, Matt. You don't say that too fast.
Hey, the guys, just real quick, that goes back to what I was saying about the experience with the cigars that you create. Like you can create multiple sizes, right? And that's cool. Mm-hmm. But you have guys like yourself to say, man, this one was amazing, but this one was like, you know what I mean? And while Ashton has, they have bank to be able to absorb that, you know what I mean? That indifference, I should say. Whereas for me, like, this is the experience I want to share with you. It's truly genuine and down to the level of myself. I'm not mass producing cigars for you to come and get a Toro, a Bellicoso, a Corona Gordo. No, this is the one that I want to share the experience with. So for me, if I was the person that having to be blessed to create the Symmetry, that Churchill, the 49 gauge that's out of sight.
As far as like my bad. Go, Matt.
No,
Matt.
You go, Keith. You go, dude. You go.
My bad on that. I was gonna ask, man, as far as like the other, colleagues that you have, the other, cigar owners, the other, blenders that you've come across, how have they, appreciated definition cigars? What kind of feedback or kind of knowledge have they given to you? Anything like that?
Man, so again, it goes back to the thought that I had shared about, people in the industry are really close to the chest with the tobacco and with their energy. As far as that goes, there has been there has been there's been notice, I'll say, of definition in terms of some lounge. So some lounges who do really good numbers for major brands, they will ask, how does this brand definition, and it's brands that you guys know, how are they able to do X, Y, and Z in terms of numbers? So that's been cool. But outside of that, there hasn't been much conversation, Keelan. Luciano has been one that, even before we did a cigar, was really intentional about understanding my mind, understanding how I navigated through this, because in terms of Texas, you know, it's a pretty it's a cigar that if you live in Texas, you've probably seen a time or two, right? And he wanted to understand that piece, so that started the conversation. But I would say Luciano has been a sounding board and someone who has really invested time in myself and definition.
Well, big shout out to Luciano and Luciano Cigars, man. That's huge, dude. Because you got to have somebody that has your back at the same time, you know, especially somebody that's in the industry.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, and what makes it even more cooler, so
that's necessary.
Yeah, so my existing blends, the core of where the cigars come from that I produce come from a small factory in Nicaragua. It's about the width of your garage door when you walk in. It's called the Fabrica de Tobacco, and it is just really rolling tables, and there's really cool guys in there, but they're really in tune to where they're at, Nicaragua. They're trying to not do anything too much, like, you know, so they're not looking to come to America and be a brand or anything like that. They just want to produce cigars. We don't own any plots of land or anything. We resource what comes into in country, and we buy bales and buy tobacco, and we create the blends there. So it's a different energy, Keelan. While they are supportive of my energy and what I'm trying to do, and they want to see the cigars continue to grow, but they want to see it's about cigars. It's about, man, I'm glad you have this platform to share your cigars. And that's where their energy stops at. They are cigar people. They are what people don't understand when you talk about Nicaragua, and I don't have any relationship to anyone in the Dominican. Like, the tobacco that goes in cigars, right? Cigars are cool, and Nicaragua produces a ton of them. But really, cigars are kind of secondary to just selling tobacco.
Right.
They're just trying to. There's plots of field and land, and they're just selling tobacco. The cigars are an avenue for selling some of this tobacco. So these guys are in the business of tobacco, 100%. And I had the opportunity where I could work together, and they gave me the latitude to be able to create blends of cigars that I'm able to produce. But they're not in it on the American side from a branding standpoint to say X, Y, and Z. Their energy is around just the cigars, how they look, how they come. It's a construction correct. It's this, you know, it's truly about tobacco. Whereas Luciano has been someone to be a sounding board because he is a brand. He's you know, he's had some opportunities, you know, before it became Luciano Cigars. He's went through and everybody knows the stories, but he wanted to understand my plight and understanding what it means to be a brand owner in America. And I always pay homage and give salute because I'm just a brand owner who is sourcing tobacco and creating cigars. The Padron family, Placencia, Drew Estate, Luciano, Fuente. These guys are agriculture folks. You know, they have plots of land that is a business in its own, and they're farming tobacco, and it's not all that tobacco sees a cigar. They're really in business of agriculture. So there's a part of the industry that people they see. I'll use Luciano for instance. They see Luciano at these events, and he's got these great cigars, but man, that's only 30% of what his true focus is. He's got an entire factory. He's also got all this tobacco that, hey, man, not all this tobacco is going to go inside of a cigar. Some of this tobacco is going to, be sourced to do different things where smoking is involved. So, just a little bit of feedback there on the whole energy.
Yeah.
Cab had a
Now,
question
like with
that. Just thought it was a good one.
what's the question, John?
Oh, just saying. Cab said that they've never smoked a definition. Just any suggestions, what to try, where to buy.
Yeah. Do you have like a store locator?
Yeah, on the website definitionscigars.com, you can go on there and find a local retail shop that's near you wherever you are. But always ask you to hit the local brick and mortar. But if there's not one close to you, you can hit the shop tab as well, and we'll get the cigars out to you.
The first one I saw in the wild was a Denton Cigar Company. They have them. That's a closer shop.
Yeah, they're all over Texas. I will say this: I've never met someone who has said a bad thing about Definition cigars. And of a lot of people like to send me stuff, or if I ask, they say I haven't had it. The fastest thing people try and give me when I first was doing this, maybe a couple of years ago, was Definition. Like that's how I got my first Definition cigar. I was at an event. The guy pulled one out with a band, and I was like, "Yeah, I've never seen that." And then he just handed it to me. Like that was how fast he wanted to recommend your stuff. Like it was just that instant. Smoke it, and I was like, "Okay."
That's love.
Yeah, that's love. Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate that. Wow.
Outside of Texas, where do you see your cigars being sold the most and enjoyed the most? Because I think Texas is probably where it's at for the most part.
Yeah, Texas, Georgia has grown. Michigan, there's a few lounges there, and that's continuing to grow. But there's Hound Dog, there's pockets here and there that the cigars are in, but Texas and Georgia are the predominant markets that really have the cigars.
I assume you popping down there in Atlanta?
Yep, Atlanta and the surrounding areas. Yep, Keelan. Yep.
I kind of figured that would be it.
Yeah, and man, Keelan, what I'm I've talked to some cigar lounge owners, and the narrative around Definition is only being promoted to lounges that are held and owned by Black Americans. I try to dispel that because, man, the cigars are for everyone.
Everybody,
whoever wants them. I just want to share the leaf. The leaf has no respect of person or color, creed, or what have you, man. Let's smoke together. But that's a narrative that we continue as people. We break down because it's not that at all. I'm the same lover of the leaf as anyone.
And that's the beauty of being on a platform like this, man. Like Hound Dog got his audience, DJ got an audience. Alchemist, Master Your Ash, myself. So we getting you out there so everybody can see that you're making dope cigars, hear your stories behind the cigars. Like one thing about our audience as a whole is like they love the conversation, they love the tobaccos, they love supporting, the brick and mortars online businesses. So we getting you out there, man. And this needs to be heard.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. Like I said, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Man, man, me and DJ met, in Vegas. It was able to share energy, and it was just one of those things that you get from when you in a cigar lounge. You meet somebody like boom, like man, we talked. It was real easy. He came in and he said, "You mind if I do X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, "Nah, let's do it." I mean, so it's real easy because there's no gimmicks. I'm not hiding behind a veil or trying to be different. Just man, I just want to smoke cigars, and hey, I happen to have the opportunity to hand you a cigar, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Sorry, DJ, but if people, for anybody who's like this far into the chat, if they're still watching or like replay or whatever, and they actually pay attention to the conversation, you're gonna get some sales. I'm not saying like it's our power. It's your power. Yeah. It's the fact that you're such a down to earth person who's genuinely in love with the hobby and lifestyle. They're gonna see that and they're gonna want to support you and try your stuff because just by listening to us, it sounds freaking fantastic. Your product,
man. Listen,
appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's why I only reached out to a couple people at PC8 specifically. You being one of them. I've been in the consulting world for a long time, in the marketing world for a long time, so I can tell when someone's fake. And it's not just that, but working with startups that I've done for a long time. When I find someone that I meet who is real at what they do. I mean, I don't have a huge platform, but I want to do the best that I can to show that. And not just that you're a real person, you have a good product and you're a real person. And it's not some big fake fucking facade behind it all. Like this is real and this is passion and it's good. That's hard to get all together.
Checking all the boxes.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. Like, I mean, it's like a full circle experience, right? I'm here at my brother's house, right? And we used to do things when we were younger that, wasn't most proud of, but when we look back and where we are,
man,
yeah, when you're able to be a part of something that was a part of your childhood, you know what I mean? And what was a part of what you grew up around and are able to manifest it into cool experiences like this one. You know what I mean? It means it's a beautiful thing. And I tell anybody that I come across that, man, when you smoke a cigar, let each time you smoke a cigar, let it have a purpose. Be purposeful in you smoking a cigar. And what I mean is that not every cigar is going to be the champagne moment where you can commemorate a specific event, but let that cigar that you decide to smoke, let it have purpose, whether it's a hard day at work, whether it's celebration of something that your kids have done, or whether it's a celebration of yourself, or whether it is, I just need to relax. A cigar experience and smoking cigars should be one of something specific for yourself, or to share energy with someone. Any cigar that I smoke, I make sure that it has an experience for me, because as a kid, that's where cigars started for me, being an experience. When I think about being young and a kid, it was about the experience of a cigar. And I implore people to remember that, because, and I don't want to get on my soapbox, but unfortunately, cigars have made their way into popular nightclubs, and nightclubs have given a place for you to go and smoke cigars to get you in there. And while that is cool, and I've taken advantage of that, I want people to still remember what it means to put together a cigar. What it means to for this tobacco wrapper and binder and filler to come together, and the hands that have touched this cigar to come there. It's not for you to pick up and say, because I'm in the party and everybody else is smoking a cigar, let me grab one. It's a disservice to the men and women who work for shit in their respective countries to put this cigar together. And we got to remember that, and remember to create an experience. Be intentional about when we pick up a cigar, what we're doing.
Absolutely.
A little nerdy, but truly a full value.
It's real. It's
That's
real,
what we do
man.
here. So to tack onto that, what was that cigar that sparked that thing for you? It was like, this is it. This is that cigar. This is that moment. This is that experience. We all have told our stories on this platform numerous times. What was that one cigar that just lit that fire for you, or that moment?
Man, so it's a cigar that I never smoked, Keelan, if that makes sense. It's my grandfather. Being on the road for hiring multiple days and coming home, and my grandmother didn't work. She took care of the kids and fed us, and man, she was domesticated in that way. And the cigar that my grandfather would come home with and sit back and relax in his chair, watch his favorite show, and relax. When I became of age, that's what I wanted for me. So that the cigar that I never smoked is the one that lit the fire. This fire that I have for cigars right now is the one I never smoked.
It's awesome.
We totally get that. My grandfather smoked blue ribbons. Like, it was just like some off-brand. And when I found out that's the cigar that he smoked, I went out to find that cigar. It's not anything that I would get on a regular basis, but just the connection to him and that lineage, and just being a cigar smoker, man. I totally understand that story. Totally get it.
Yeah.
Sorry, fellas, the phone was dying, so I had to change my position.
You good, man?
You good.
All good, dude.
Man, we got any questions from? I know we've been on here for a little bit. And anybody got any questions, like from the panel?
Can your cigars be found in Canada?
Nope, not yet. Not yet, Mo. Not yet. We're working.
I'm out here in Japan, man. That's where you use the online services, bro. Get them out there.
Yes.
Any more questions here? There we go. I think Justin said he found some eventually. Some pigs.
Yes. Man, where is y'all know Justin? I imagine it's where is he at? Where does he live?
I don't know.
Justin's one of our regulars,
Yeah,
man.
sure.
We see Justin all the time.
Yeah,
man. Much love to Justin. So he'll
Justin,
put it up
where
for
you
us.
at?
Yeah, where are you from, Justin? Let us know, man.
So Justin, the pigs come in a box of 24. If you go online and you select 24 singles, or if you just want 20, or if you just want 10, or if you just want 15, I'll ship them to you.
Oh, he's in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we just beat the Thunder the other day. We just beat up on OKC the other day, the Thunder.
Who's weak here? Who's weak?
The Golden State and Chef Curry.
Okay, you from
North
Oakland?
Carolina, brother?
Okay. Oh, yeah, you say you're
my wife
from
is from from that area, man. So I got adopted. So like when I came up, Charlotte Hornets wasn't a thing yet. So I never got associated with the Carolina teams. So
yeah,
I got adopted by Golden State.
Okay, not a bad adoption.
Speaking of,
You,
let's move into
you one of the good
the
guys.
questions.
Yeah, let's talk. I'm here for it.
My sound went out. Say that again.
I said, man, let's talk. I'm here for it. I told DJ when we first talked about it. DJ said, man, Jamond, we stay on and we smoke. You only got to stay on for 30, 45 minutes. I said, man, DJ, I'm here for it. Man,
you can stay as long as you want, but we will hit the full 3 hours.
Hey, man. Yeah. It's up to you, bro. Roll with us.
Yeah,
But
man.
speaking of Golden State, man, you guys in the Washington Bullets, I won't call them the Wizards, the Washington Bullets, y'all took on our baby boy. Y'all got Jordan Poole, man. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Hey, Keelan, I don't know if it's made it over there to Japan and some of the social media over there. I've never been to Japan, so I don't know if you can still see the same streams of Instagram that we can over here. But man, he's already doing a little bit of funny shit on the benches, man, with some of the teammates, man. So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work. What would be a go-to definition to so Cab? I would say Cab, relative to whatever your palate profile would be. The new cigar, the Gen 413, is a medium cigar, but it's if you are someone that is just wanting to enjoy a cigar, that's it. If you're specific on a Maduro, the company is more Maduro forward. The Equalizer is one that is a fan of the community. The Pig, Alchemist got the Equalizer there now. The Pig is, as I said earlier, the second most sold cigar, but there are some others that are more full, that may be in your profile. But again, like I said earlier, I'm not Fuente or any of the bigger brands. I can't promote those cigars in every publication to make sure that you see them. But I would advise maybe trying the sampler that's on the website to see what may be in your warehouse.
Nice, man.
Keelan, were you really bragging about beating the Thunder?
I think he was. I was going to jump on it, but I think Keelan, everybody on the Thunder's team is just now being able to have a drink.
Yeah. That's some young boys. I think it's a couple of them that still can't drink, honestly. Some young cats, but they got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, man. That's a bad boy. That little dude can hoop.
Yeah,
and I think he's from. Is he from Canada? I think that's from Canada.
Yeah, he's from Canada.
I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers, Justin, but I just couldn't let that one go here. Hearing a Golden State Warriors fan bragging about beating the Thunder, but okay.
Yeah, underground definitely has them.
Yes, check them out. Check them out in Underground. Hey, real quick, nice. What is everybody drinking while they're smoking? Let's talk about. People need to understand that too, because I only bring that point out is because like the whole energy behind the name of the company, Definition Cigars, is for people to define their own experience, not get caught up in what people should say you should drink with a cigar, what you should eat before you smoke a cigar. All of those things, Definition Cigars represents you define your own experience while enjoying a cigar in your own way. You know, you may get a buddy that says, hey, you can't drink vodka, but you may find yourself to be someone that loves a good Tito's and Sprite. You know what I mean? So at the same time, people, I keep continuing to push that, and people need to hear from people who are influencers in the community to say that is okay. I do what what fits me, and I smoke with what fits me to pair. So,
Yeah.
man, if we could go around real quick and everybody could just share what you're doing right now while you're smoking, so people can hear that.
Yeah.
I want to hear Keelan's first.
You already know what it is. You know it's my cranberry juice. Everybody gonna joke, man, but hey, that acid makes
It's not
my
a joke.
cigars pop every
No,
single time.
it
man.
works. It works real well.
It's not a joke.
It really does, man. I don't drink alcohol, so it is me and Matt. We don't drink alcohol, so
Yeah.
Well, Keelan, that's the whole point of me saying what I said, though, is man, like when you said it's like a joke, but it really is not, because that's the experience that you have when you smoke a cigar. You pair it with a cranberry juice, and that's okay. Like for whoever's still on here, you got a guy like Keelan that's obviously knowledgeable about cigars and the leaf. And you have him being experienced and said, hey, it's a running joke. I drink cranberry with my cigars, but it's not a joke. That is his pairing, and being okay defines your experience. It defines who you are. So, man, go in the bar, try to drink just cranberry juice with your cigar, and see what it is. And that's okay. That there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nah, it's just a running joke, man. It's
I know
about the
it is,
experience,
and
like you said, bro.
There it is. I know it is, and you know, for people who aren't as experienced as others, those are the guys that go into the cigar shop, buy the cigars, and go home. They don't sit there and talk to nobody. They don't, because they may like, man, the only thing I want is a Dr. Pepper. Like, I'm not gonna sit in here with these guys just drinking bourbon and scotch or an IPA, because I can't talk to them. But we need those people still in the brick and mortars, to be there to talk to people and say, man, you want to know what? I'm just drinking cranberry juice, and this is what I get from a definition cigar, or I get from whatever. That's important.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Fucking Taurus.
What do you say now?
Who's next?
Oh my God.
What did he say? I missed it. Cambodian breast milk. Yeah, my man.
You make my day.
Taurus, man.
Next thing he's
on another level tonight, brother.
Next thing he's gonna say is mountain oysters go well with a cigar too.
Yeah, man. You just gotta grill them first.
Yeah.
Pickled mountain oysters, DJ.
Oh my.
Pickle.
I'm drinking. So I'm drinking a root beer. It's like a creamy root beer with this equalizer. I feel like after I've had one cigar, something like a little bubbly with some carbonation helps just kind of refresh my palate a little bit. So I like having something like this and get some like spice out of the root beer to pair with this. So yeah, it's good. It's a good mix.
Delicious with that Maduro.
Nice, man.
Yeah, I'm smoking a cola tonight, but one of my favorite things to drink with cigars is a peach iced tea, which I think is highly underrated.
I know how I am with that tea. That's money.
Man, DJ, I smoke cigars with, and don't nobody judge me, unsweet iced tea.
Okay, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man. No, dude.
Unsweet.
Dude, you got to come to Japan. You got to come to Japan, man. We light up some Cubans, get some, some Japanese
that's
tea,
a little
bro.
out of pocket for Texas, but Japan would be great.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, for me, it's when I'm doing reviews, I just drink water to not impart any flavor on the cigar. But if it's me time, if I get to smoke for my own enjoyment, it's coffee. Like coffee, in my opinion, for my palate, especially since I don't drink alcohol, coffee is the best pairing. I love that fucking combination. Yeah,
man. Matt, DJ sent me your Hound Dogs. DJ sent me your energy. So I made a blend of coffee. A guy I went to high school with. We linked up about a year ago. He spent about 4 years in Colombia, learned the coffee trade, and he had reached out to me, and we spent about 6 or 7 months coming up with a specific blend for Definition Cigars, and it's a Colombian bean, but it's roasted at a specific temperature that really resonated to me. And I wasn't a coffee drinker, so I drank coffee for 6 or 7 months and tried coffee from Mexico, Guatemala. Man, we went through the whole gamut. But I love to send you some so that you can just try it out. It's whole bean though. It's not ground up, so you have to ground it up. That was the way that I wanted to go. I wanted to do whole bean, because I did in coming to committing to this blend. I did the French press. I did everything with it to see its versatility with smoking cigars. So it's pretty cool in my perspective. But I'll get you some out there.
I'll gladly partake. I'm huge coffee guy, so I'll gladly partake, man.
Sure.
I don't drink coffee, but this is for Jay and for Matt. I got a couple homeboys that are, they got Instagram pages and they do all the coffee. They try all the different blends, Ethiopian, Colombian, da. They show me this thing where they have this metal ball and they freeze it, and then they pour the hot coffee over the metal ball, and that's where the drip comes from. When I tell you that thing brightens up the coffee so much, you get the citrus flavors, you get the roasted nuts, you get all of that, man. I swear that'll change everything for y'all when y'all try that. I'll try to send a link to both of y'all so y'all can see the whole process. It made me want to drink coffee. That shit is so money.
Never heard of that, man.
Me either.
I had never seen it until this year. It was earlier this year. My homeboy sat me down. We were in Yokohama, and he was like, "Dude, I know how you are about coffee, but you got to try this." And he poured that for me. He gave me one that was regular and one that he did to pour over the silver ball. Changed everything. Y'all will fall in love, man. You have a good cigar, you sit with that. I'm telling you.
I'll check that out. And Keaton, for some of the comments coming in here talking about sweetened versus unsweetened tea. Y'all didn't grow up in a household that I did with sweetened tea. Y'all drink unsweet tea as an adult too, if you grew up in a household that I did.
You see it.
It was like syrup. You saw like syrup? Yes. Hey, Keelan, you saw your soul in the bottom of that picture before pouring a glass of that sweet tea.
Man, listen. I can't even do the sweet tea no more. Like I go back home to North Carolina, man. I might as well have Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't do it no more, man. I can't. When I went to culinary school, like I first started drinking like just straight tea because I wanted to get the flavors for everything. I want to get, I finally tasted wine. I finally, tried tea just with no sugar in it, man. Because, bruh, it's amazing I don't have diabetes right now at 43 because like the way we make tea back home, bruh, yeah, that's can't do it no more, man.
Yeah. Relentless. It was like, man.
Dude, this root beer is going really well with this equalizer, man. It's a good pairing.
Yeah, that shit is serious.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it.
I'm hopeful, Alchemist, that you is the cocoa note present?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting cocoa. Earth, like rich earth.
Right, cocoa, rich earth, and on the back end of your palate, there should be a hint of salinity that should make you salivate. That should continuously repeat that. That's the direction in that cigar.
I'm also getting, and DJ talked about this in his recent video, and I agree with him on this subject. Like, not enough people talk about just like rich tobacco, like as a flavor. And
just rich. Yeah, that's
one of my faves.
Yeah, like this is just there's rich tobacco in this, man, and it's like some cigars you don't get that as much, and so like but like it's not talked about enough. Everyone, you know, we want to get all fancy and stuff, and which is good too.
Right.
Like you're getting those notes too, but it's like
Mhm.
these cigars, man, call it out. This has got rich tobacco in it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's the tobacco is rich because you can taste and really understand and feel that it's been fermented properly. There has been no speed up in terms of that tobacco getting into that cigar. It is what it is supposed to be. It's aged. It's appropriate. Yeah, that's that by total.
Yeah, man.
And what is that blend for the equalizer, Jay?
That so it's Ecuadorian. It's an Oscuro wrapper on that from Ecuador, and it's Nicaraguan in the guts, binder and filler of that cigar. Man, that the equalizer was really a mistake. Not I don't want to say mistake. So the equalizer, the blend, the binder and filler, originally was the cigar that I gave. If you buy 3, you get 1 free, but it was in Habano. And man, halfway through the run, for whatever reason, the wrapper, as it aged, it became bitter. So I pulled it from being the get free cigar because it performed well, but the taste profile just didn't work. So again, for the people that's listening, there is a challenge there with cigars where they appear to be one thing, but as age takes place with the cigar, they can be something else. So for me, that cigar got pulled back, and I really believed in the binder and filler, and we put an Oscuro Maduro wrapper on it, and it made all the difference. It's why the cigar's still here now. But you know, for a guy like myself, like you don't always hit base hits. Sometimes you hit valves, and you have to recalibrate and work with your blends to get them to where they should be or where they are. But that's the equalizer right there.
Yeah.
There's companies out there, and some of you guys know it. So some of the viewers, they'll put out a cigar. Let's say they call it I don't know, whatever name you want to put it. They call it the thing. Let's say that. And
Right.
they'll come out and do it a year or so later because it didn't respond right. And that's because they've tweaked the blend. And now they may put a footer on it that says the thing 2023 or the thing 2024 because, you know, they're being respectful of the cigar community and they changed the blend. But that prior blend didn't work, and they went back into the lab to create a better experience for the cigar smoke.
I love that.
Lucky for me, lucky for me, it was just a get free cigar.
That sounds like absolute money, though. So the equalizer, how did you come up with the name for that one? What was the experience behind that cigar that made you feel like, okay, this is the equalizer? We leveling this field.
Yeah, just what we've been talking about. What is the ultimate bridge breaker? What is the ultimate conversation piece? What is the ultimate way of communicating? What allows you to share energy or talk with someone that in any other setting but a cigar lounge would you share energy with that person? And
Right.
that is a cigar, and that's what that's why that cigar has that name is the equalizer. Cigars in general are the great equalizer.
All backgrounds. Everybody can come to that playing field, sit with that cigar. You can talk your music, talk your sports.
Yep.
You know, everybody chopping it up. I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig it.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm excited to try
coming.
these cigars, man.
They're coming, kid. They're coming.
The smoke output on this thing is awesome, man. There's a ton of smoke.
When you get a good body,
What'd you say?
When you get a good body like that.
Yeah.
So Alchemist, man, in that particular cigar, there was it's a specific Nicaraguan leaf of Viso that worked in there. So the smoke output is appropriate, is like what you're talking about, but it's because we lucked up on putting the right amount of Viso in that one.
Okay. See, and that's stuff I love learning about, man. Like I want to continue to learn more about like how people use Viso versus Seco and Ligero and Velado.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of that. Like I just find all that fascinating, man.
Yeah.
Just so
that's that one.
Okay.
So sometimes even if you let it rest, Alchemist, you'll see a little bit of a smoke output, not necessarily that it's burning your cigar as you know, like a cigarette would that's just sitting there.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a Viso burn is what I call it.
Got it. Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, dude, it's really good, man. It's delicious. And yeah, it's funny when I got this, my wife was like, "That's a really dark cigar." I'm like, "That's Oscuro," and she's like, "What the hell's Oscuro?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's Oscuro."
Sure is. But the beautiful thing about the Equalizer is that while it's so dark and while it can look to be aggressive, it is for anybody to smoke. Because it's in that medium plus maybe. But yeah.
Cool, man. What's up, Michael?
What's up? Can you guys hear me okay?
Michael.
Yeah,
we can hear you
fine. Yeah, you loud and clear, homeboy.
What's going on, guys? Jamond, how you doing?
Man, I am good. How are you, my brother?
It is good to see you, bro. It is good to see you. Sorry about being tardy.
No, man, you haven't missed anything. We've been talking about nothing. So you haven't missed anything. You're right on that.
It's like a Seinfeld episode, baby.
I left Big Smoke. I gave Luciano a hug and told him where I was going as soon as I possibly could.
What did he say?
He was like, "Tell everybody that I said hi." Sanj said the exact same.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice. Nice, dude.
Well, we were just talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder for the last hour and a half, 2 hours. So don't worry about it.
Oh, so I missed nothing. I missed absolutely nothing. That's cool.
Man, we had to whoop them kids, man.
I think Justin
Willis is next.
I think Justin already bailed.
Oh, wow.
He did.
Out, so.
Man, Justin just signed off. I hope he was only joking by that 9x90 guy.
Oh no, it's Texas. Texas is always joking, man.
He's always joking. Yeah.
Wow, we were
There's
talking
only
about
one of us that 9x90
in the chat. That had to be great.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I caught a little bit of the end of it when you were talking about farmers that utilize tobacco for a whole bunch of things as I was driving home, not just cigars.
Yeah. I mean, I'll dive in a little bit of that, man. I've been in bodegas when I've been in Nicaragua, and companies have been in this bodega sourcing tobacco to meet their own timelines for release of a particular cigar. So there could be 2 or 3 different factories. For instance, there could be 2 or 3 different factories in Nicaragua that have plans to release a cigar, and somebody's tobacco across town may be more ready or in a different space to be produced. And they may have that same stock, but it hasn't fermented and hasn't behaved in a certain way to be ready to meet those same timelines of production. So there's a lot of sharing of resources that take place that really, the consumer really does not really understand. While cigars, once they get on the retail shelf, is highly competitive. More times than not, there's the cigar that's right across the aisle from your favorite cigar may have uh, some tobacco from another factory inside of that that help meet that production timeline and get it going.
For sure. For sure. What are we smoking tonight, fellas? Thank you for sending out the sticks too.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, man. I smoked the pig earlier. I got the equalizer now.
Okay.
Pig
you're on
for
the
I
number
moved
pig.
on
two.
to the
DJ's matching.
pig. Yeah. So far, so good with this one too. That the goods was freaking amazing. That
Absolutely.
Solomon was bomb,
Oh yeah.
and obviously the construction was insane too.
Yeah.
Dope.
I handed I was helping out the fellows over at Sereno Cigars the last 2 days at the show, and I handed Tony's son your Cameroon Noir out of my pack to smoke. Because I was talking it up, and he's like, "What is that?" You know, he saw the fabric band and everything. I'm like, dude, you got to try this.
Get on it.
Those are good. Those are good dudes over there. They do, man. There's a for the white label market. You know, there's up and coming guys that are looking for avenues of tobacco to start their own brands and that sort of thing. And Sereno Cigars, while their private label is great, they make great tobacco. To produce into the cigar community for guys looking to up and come. I have a ton of respect for what they do.
Super nice guys. Super nice guys.
That's dope, man. Because like you were saying, it's not like a lot of people who are trying to open up and allow other people in, man. So when you got different tabacaleras and you got different companies that are saying, hey, we'll give you a chance, man. That means everything, dude.
Yeah. And not a lot of people know that about those guys. They make avenues for people. Sereno Cigars do. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, it seems like a very closed off industry.
Man, it 100% is. It is. And it should be though, DJ. And it should be. It should be because not a lot of folks have the same reverence that all of us do for what a cigar is. Man, it was funny. I was in Tampa for a smoke event, and some of my group um, uh, came into Miami and drove up to Miami, and we smoked cigars, went out and drank wine, and did some different pairings. And in broken English, one of the group said that he would put a percentage of 70-30 on people who really understand what they're smoking versus not. And this is a guy that 40 years into tobacco, grew up in Cuba, moved to Nicaragua, and has dual residency in Miami and Nicaragua, and has seen it, goes to the shops. He says, man, I would say 70-30, 70-30. 7 out of 10 people that you walk into a lounge can tell you their why for being there to smoke a cigar, and it's not going to be relevant to someone who loves the leaf. But there is going to be 3 out of those 10 that you're going to be like, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that was high for me. I don't know. I'll throw that lob up to the rest of the panel here. What do you guys think of that? You think that's a little high? You think? What's your thoughts?
No, I'll say that's about right. I'll say because you're gonna have when you're going into those lounges or when you're going into those clubs or whatever, you're having the people that are going there to smoke. They're trying to look cool. They're trying to drink. They're trying to take somebody home for the night. They on that vibe. That's all well and good. Live how you live. But you have those people who are in there on a regular basis that are trying to go, and they're going to the top shelf. They're going to the middle shelf. They're going to the bottom shelf. They're trying to go in the special cabinet, and they're trying to see what these flavor profiles are like. So that 30%, will exist in there. You usually see them on a regular basis. You're like, okay, this guy, he ain't thinking about the basketball game right now. You can see him looking at his cigar and trying to figure out what he's tasting. You know what I'm saying? And he's having a conversation with you about that. So that sounds about right to me, man. I think that's pretty on point.
If
DJ, what you
anything,
got,
I'd
bro?
say it's
Oh, Matt?
no. I was gonna say, if anything, I think it's even a smaller percentage. I'd say maybe like
Really?
20%.
Wow, okay.
Like cigars are such a niche thing to begin with, and for people to take it to the point to where, you know, nerding out to the extent that we're nerding out at, you know, I think it's an even smaller percentage, which is
Definitely.
you know, that's fine. Like, people should enjoy whatever they want, however they want, but like to the people that actually care about like the wrapper, binder, filler, composition, trying different types of leaf, going out of their way to try those different types of cigars, I think it's a very small percentage.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, especially in seeing some of the people that showed up at Big Smoke this year, last year, the year before. I had one guy. I had like the same guy come in a couple of times with his tickets in his mouth and try to hand me his tickets for his cigar in his mouth.
Wow.
I'm like, bro, just drop it in the bin.
Ticket.
No,
But like,
Yeah.
you should have matched his
nobody's there
energy and took
about-
it with your mouth.
Nah, we good.
Yeah, no,
Hey, yo.
man. I got to go to the football game tomorrow. I'm not trying to do all that. End up sick. Anyway, no, it's one of those where like people at an event like that, they don't care about the wrapper, the binder, the filler, where the factory's rolling them.
They did
You know,
smoke. Yeah.
maybe 10% of the people. You know, so I feel like with most stores, I think that 30 is probably a good number. It might actually be lower than that, but yeah, I mean, just in our channels alone, it's really cool though to see a lot of the newer people that have gotten into it pop up, you know, and ask questions and are very engaged. I feel like a lot of social media has helped make cigars a little bit more like in the eyeballs of a lot of new people over the last couple of years, for better or for worse. We've talked about it on the show a little bit. You know, people like people that are very divisive, like the Andrew Tates of the world that smoke them and his brother and stuff. But I'll tell you what, like, it gets people interested in the hobby.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah. DJ, what you think? Or Alchemist?
Yeah, I I agree. I mean, 20, 30%, you know. I have a friend who's been smoking as long as I have, so about 16 years, and he has a humidor. He buys cigars and stuff. He smokes them. He likes them, but it's the same thing. He doesn't necessarily know why he likes a cigar or not versus another.
Yeah.
You know, it might be he might recognize like, oh, I like Connecticut's, you know, but he might not know the difference of a Connecticut with like Nicaraguan filler versus one with Dominican, and he take it even further with jalapa in there versus you know not. But dude, I love him. He's one of my best friends. But when he comes over, man, if I give him a cigar, dude, last time he cut it past the shoulders, and then midway through the cigar, it was a Don Carlos. He just starts peeling the wrapper off, and I was just like, bro. And so that's someone who's been
Sacrilege.
yeah, he's been smoking 16 years, and I'm not hating on him, you know, but it's just like, it's, you know, it's just, again, the amount of people who I think take it to that level of like understanding why they like stuff, you know, beyond just, oh, it's a lighter wrapper, a darker wrapper, or even like it's a Connecticut versus a whatever, you know. I don't know if there's too much of that out there to that level, because you don't have to be as nerdy as we are, but like I still feel like even close to that, it's not there as much.
Yeah, just to know and understand why you like something. I don't think there's even a lot of people that do that. As far as the common goes, like I was just at a charity golf event on Friday, and I got cigars donated, and the majority of people picked them up because they were on a golf course, and that's what you do on a golf course. And they had no idea what they were smoking or why they even liked it. It was like, this is this is good, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think most people understand what it is, especially like so I used to go to CI a lot, and I'd watch these salesmen trying to sell people things, and the general manager would lead this dude who came in who clearly doesn't really smoke cigars, but he wants to take them over to one shelf, and this is what you buy, and the guy was just okay. And they don't ask questions of why, or if they will, they just say, well, it's the best cigar I've ever had. Like there's this one dude, every time I went in, he would take me like, I'm going to take you to the best cigar ever created. And he'd take me to the Tabernacle every single time. And he couldn't tell me why it was or what it was. He's like, this is just the best cigar. This is what it is. I'm like, okay. It's like, I just listened to the guy talk. I'm like, I know a little bit, enough to know that that's a very widely good cigar, but you gotta sell me more than that. If this is the best cigar
tell me about
created. Yeah. Tell me why. Is there a story? Is there anything? And they don't know. They just know that that's what they're trying to push that month. And most people, like the average cigar lounge is, don't care what people says, it's crazy intimidated for your first time to go in there. Like we don't judge you. We don't judge you. Bullshit. You don't judge people. You absolutely
100%.
like there's no way. You absolutely 100% do. Like I've been going to different shops for a long period of time. They still judge you based on what you go in there with. And I'm like,
you know how you were talking about that one lounge where the dude follows you into the humidor every single time that you go in?
Yeah.
And it's just like a hawk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sanj went to one of our local lounges today and had the exact same experience. They had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
And he's telling me this story before I hit the floor. And he's like, bro, they thought that I was going to like start putting him in my bag or something. He's like, I don't know, but the dude was following me around like a hawk. And then later they told him who he was. And he's like, I don't want any trouble. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my cigar.
Right.
Get out of here, Texas.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
that goes Connecticut was quite nice. I will not lie.
But dude, DJ, I think you bring up such a good point, man. Like, I think some of the brick and mortar, some of the lounges, man, make it really hard for people to want to ask those questions because they're so afraid of being judged because there's such an atmosphere of that. Like I've same as you, man. I've totally felt that, you know, and especially when I was new to cigars. I mean, you don't ask questions. You just, I would just try to like do my own research and stuff. And then obviously eventually I started to, but you know.
Yeah, you go in there like, no, I don't need help. And then you pull out your phone and you're looking at cigars and what they're made up while you're sitting there like, no, I'm good. I know what I want. Yep. And you have no idea, but it's that, and it depends on the person and the place you go into. But I've never felt incredibly comfortable walking into a cigar lounge, just on my own.
No, right? No, I agree. Hound Dog, we starting to get some smoke from the chat room. They said we're not giving them the energy that they want to see. We want to chime in on some of these comments. I don't know if you guys can see the running table of them, but Alex, we gonna make sure we answer the questions and comments.
I do want to answer.
It's because I'm just gonna say if there's any reason, it's because I suck at keeping up with the chat and like showing, because I'm the hub for tonight, so I'm the one responsible for popping up the comments. I suck at that shit. I'm a terrible multitasker. So it's my fault if you feel like you're, if in the chat, if you feel like you're being, alienated, 100% my fault. As I, just watch your comment right now.
On Alex though, because Alex had a really good question. We've answered this before, but this is really important because I mean we're YouTubers, and we've got the reviews, and we've done fairly well as a group up here. So the main thing is like, if you got 2 kids, I have 2 kids. You see, it's hard for me to get out consistency. Your consistency is going to be the key. You want to review the cigars that you enjoy, but you also want to get the cigars out there that are, some of the more notable. You want to review the Tabernacles. You want to do the Ashtons. You want to do the Drew Estates. You want to get all that in there. You also want to show love to, people like Jamond and with Definition. You want to get some of the smaller brands out there. Just try to get out a decent amount of content on a regular basis and try to be consistent with that and be yourself. Put your personality into the show. All of us have completely different personalities. We have completely different palettes. We come with like a different feel and a different vibe for every show. But we come together like Voltron because we're just being genuine. We got a genuine guest on the show right now. That's what's gonna make your show pop. And just give it time, man, because people gotta find you. You gotta fight through the algorithm. You gotta fight through the competition. Just keep making your content and just keep rolling with it. It'll come. Just be patient.
Yeah, man. Keelan DJ did something different, and I told him this just personally, 1-on-1. Like he did a giveaway for I think what was it, DJ? How many?
5,000.
5,000. Yeah, and he knew that, like, okay, if he posts Drew Estate, for instance, it's gonna get some clicks, it's gonna get some tick. But he also knows that his giveaway was also going to get some tick as well, and he decided to release his review of the Genesis while doing his giveaway, which was cool because
smart.
You know, people, they see definition and like, man, I don't know who that is, but I am interested in what the fuck I'm going to get for free. So, and I told him, and I appreciated, man, there's intentionality and thought around it. He didn't have to do that at fucking all, but
that's a savvy motherfucker right there, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's love, man. That's love. That's.
I would say this too, just for advice. Like, man, know who you are. Like for me, I know I'm not as a compelling figure as DJ. I cannot hold a video for 20 minutes. Or 20
You ain't gonna lick a phone?
What?
You ain't gonna lick a phone?
No, I'm not gonna lick a phone. See, and that's exactly it. But when you do it, it worked. Perfect. So, but like I'm not that guy. I'm not as charismatic as DJ, right? And I'm not saying that to put myself down. I love cigars, so I do my own thing. But it's like you got to know who you are. Yeah. Don't try to be anyone else and stick to that. Like I got to know who I am, what are my strengths and weaknesses, and how I'm going to format based off that too. So,
yeah, that's the genuineness, though, right? People,
yeah.
All the people
that's
who
what makes John show good too.
Yeah, for sure. All the people who were kind of started around the same time I did, and they tried to adopt the overly positive, happy Cigars Daily personality. None of them are doing this still. Because it doesn't work unless you're gonna embody that personality the entire time, and no one's gonna do that unless you're trying to sell something.
Yeah.
But
then you can do it, which he still is.
Yeah.
Hey guys, give me like 2 minutes, man. I gotta drain the main vein. Hold on.
Do your
thing,
good,
bro. Dude.
You're good. not yet, man, but hopefully soon. Coming up.
I can't see you, brother. I can't see you.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. But can you see the pickle?
Pickle's always there. LLTP, baby.
I never heard that before. Talking about taking a whiz, drain the main thing. I like that.
Oh yeah. That's some more East Coast shit right there. Yeah,
drain the main thing. I like that. my favorite though comes from the movie The Great Outdoors, and it completely doesn't match any other vibe of that movie at all. But it's when Dan Aykroyd gets up from the table at the steakhouse and says, "All right, guys, gotta go introduce Mr. Thick Dick to Mr. Urinal Cake."
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck?
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
I cannot wait to review that movie, man. I love that movie so much, dude. I watched that shit all the time as a kid, man. That's such a good. Yeah, come on, Candy and Aykroyd, dude. That shit is classic, bro. That's a great
in their
scene,
element, dude. Oh my god,
that's the one where you
love that movie.
I still laugh at the bear ass showing. They got the bear ass at the end when they shot him with the shotgun.
That's one.
That shit's so good.
That's one with that.
We just rewatched Uncle Buck like last week.
Uncle Buck's great too.
Yeah,
love Uncle Buck.
You can watch those back to back.
He's flipping the pancake with the snow shovel. Yeah.
Well, what is your question, John? What are you gonna ask?
Great Outdoors is the one with the 96-ounce steak, right? Or he eats it all, and then they're like, all that's left is the fat and grizzle, or and he's like,
he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie. That's so good.
Oh man.
Yes. Preach MP.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, he
He's
noticed
selling
those
that
sales
shit
numbers
hard.
were low. He's like, these are actually really good cigars. You guys just don't know. Whatever.
Unfortunately, none of us are doing a Gurkha giveaway. Unfortunately.
I'll give them away.
Yeah, true. If we had them, we'd give them
Yeah.
away.
If I had them, I'd give them to you.
Uncle Roman, yeah,
Good
that's
job.
his name.
There's
Quick as I could.
a movie theater that Roman is the same guy from Tommy Boy, like the same character in both movies.
Okay.
Oh, really?
word?
Like when he went bankrupt, he moved out, changed his identity, and started selling brake pads. Like, and there's one more
okay.
movie that they connect him to too, because his name is the same in both. I can't think of what it is though.
That's
All
funny.
that shit. Shouts out to Stick Guy. What up, homie? Much
What's
love
going
on
on,
that
man?
conception for my man
Appreciate
for the
that.
definition, man. What up, though?
Keeping my Kirk. So
Man.
we're almost in that last half hour of the chat. We typically talk about movies in this, movies or sports. We covered sports pretty well so far, but I know Jamond, you mentioned Nor films. Is there any other like type of movie, or like do you have a favorite movie that you want to like get the chat rolling about?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you loud and clear, bro.
Can you hear us?
Hey, the greatest movie of all time, Shawshank Redemption.
All right.
Yeah,
It's a
good
damn
one.
good one.
Man,
Tim Robbins.
man.
Yep.
That's
And
one of those
a
movies, the
legit
more you
great
see it,
greatest of all
the
time.
better it gets, too.
Yeah, that's that movie. I mean, I think Keelan, you said it. The older I got, and I picked up different things in that movie. There's things about adversity, overcoming adversity in that. There's also things about being misjudged about that movie. To
Yeah.
coming across as one thing and really seemingly to be another. But the biggest thing that I always drew from that movie is that where you're at today doesn't necessarily mean where you're going to be at tomorrow.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dufresne dug through a wall and climbed through shit in order to become his
See
own
that?
man again. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. When you just take that part out, that man dug a hole through brick and climbed through shit to get his freedom, to become his own man. That should tell you everything. That's money
100%.
right there.
Yeah, that's mine. What
That might be
what's some
top
others
10, man.
around
Too
here?
soon on Dune.
Jamond, did you see the new Doom,
All right,
new
hey,
Doom
Jake.
movie yet?
Dune? No, I have not.
Okay. I mean, 50-50, it's probably a good thing you haven't yet. Even though I love the movie, most people in this chat don't like it.
It's a
Who's in it? Who's in the movie?
No one.
Fuck.
Zendaya. Zendaya.
A whole bunch of sand.
Dude, Josh Brolin's in it.
You get Momoa, right? You get Momoa.
Yeah, Momoa's in it.
You can't say Zendaya is in that movie.
She's kind of.
There's no way. She is in part 2.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe she might be a part.
Hey, my advice on that is don't watch it fall and half to sleep. You'll have the trippiest dreams of your entire life, dude. Oh my god.
Without drugs.
Without drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, just smoke a full body cigar while you smoke that and just pass the fuck out.
Bro.
About a third way through that.
It's a bad idea. It was a bad night.
Hey, you know what? This is random, man. But like we do these long ass, podcasts anyway. We might have to have a joint where we just sit back, everybody, sync a movie up. We put on like Paid in Full or some shit like that, and just put on a really good movie, put on Doom, and just go through the movie and talk shit and smoke cigars. Like
look, we start talking about Doom. Jamon's like, fuck this. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here, man. I'm not doing this bullshit.
To the dude that asked,
I haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah.
There you go. Amazon. Oh, you can't even see it because it's too bright.
Yeah, I can't
Amazon is where I got these.
We can see that. Yo, how you go from Shawshank's Redemption to fucking Doom? Like he was like, I'm out of here, man. I'm not doing
Peter,
this shit.
hey,
Because Peter
it was
brought it up.
Peter, dude.
Yeah.
It's Peter. Peter
Man.
brought it up.
He's
Hey.
banned now.
Y'all know I love Sicario. I heard they're starting to produce the third one, and they're bringing back Emily Blunt. So I'm pumped about
She's
that.
still active?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's what did she just release? She just released shit, I just watched it. Damn. Come back to me.
She was supposed to be Black Widow in the Marvel universe, but she had to do another movie contractually because of like just obligations. So she had to pass on the role, and she was like, "That was the biggest loss like ever." I'm like, "Yeah, probably."
No, yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
That's like that. Yeah, you can't come back from that. That's gotta be sad every day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's Mary Poppins though. She's like the third highest paid actress right now in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
I mean, getting that Marvel bag to add on top of that, though, you don't want to lose that bag, man.
Mm-hmm.
So she was.
You
so I
ain't really
just
even
watched her
seen
in,
Scarlett Johansson since then.
Yeah, right.
I just watched her in Pain Hustlers.
True.
She produced that, and then she was in Oppenheimer.
She got a bag off of Oppenheimer too. Rocky One is a classic, man. That's definitely you can put that in the top tens, man. That like I wish, like I love Rocky 3. I love Clubber Lang. Like he's probably the most entertaining cat in Rocky. Like you know, come over here and get with a real man. That shit's fucking hilarious. But Rocky 1 was like he was telling a real story. You can't front on the original Rocky. You know what I mean? That shit that's a true love story. And it's the same thing with Shawshank. Like you got this dude that's just trying to like just because he started out this way, don't mean he's not gonna end in a better place.
Yeah.
That's just fucking
It
genius.
is.
Dude,
Go ahead.
there's so much more to Rocky than boxing. Like in that movie, like there's so much just good character development. That's such a well written movie beyond just the boxing scenes that people know about it. Know it for.
Bro, Uncle Paulie, man.
Yeah.
Uncle Paulie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, I mean,
I like the fact that they came full circle with that shit too, though. Like when you got to like Rocky Balboa and the last one that he did with Creed, like he brought the story back to that shit. You got the humanity back in Rocky again, man. That shit is love.
well, Uncle Paulie in his role there, I think it serves with what we see in some of our own families is that man, somebody who is maybe have a addiction to something, right? You still love them, and while it's a movie, they found a place. Uncle Paulie still held value, you know, even while he dealt with that drinking addiction that he had, and you know, subsequently was his demise. But it speaks to like what a lot of us deal with. You had that family member or what have you that is dealing with whatever, but they still have some value inside of your circle. Albeit Rocky was a millionaire in the movie, and it was a lot easier to massage that. But it in terms of what you're speaking about with the writing and that sort of things, it was so relatable, and the different storylines and inside of that. That's just being one. You know what I'm saying? With that, you say Uncle Paulie.
And I mean with Creed, when they brought in the storyline of Adrian passing and like Paulie and Rocky, being the only two left, and they were what each other had outside of all that, like that was very real.
Yeah.
Uncle Paulie is my Uncle Dennis. Like that is like I lived that. Like my Uncle Dennis, man, I love the guy to death, but he's the reason that I don't drink to this day, because when he would drink, he would ruin the holidays. He would come Jekyll and Hyde, but he's the dude that taught me to fish. He taught me how to, lace up and tie my shoes. And like 40 years down the line, I've never forgotten that he's the man that, was behind me in that. Like my pops passed away. He was the dude that would tell me stories about my dad when they were in Vietnam and, and what they did like outside of the military. I never would have gotten that from anybody else, but I knew that alcohol was that like forever. I love him to death to this day. He's my favorite uncle, even though he had all those demons with him. And it's the same thing with Uncle Paulie. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. Like you can't. That's the shit that's in movies that make you fall in love every time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's man. So besides Keelan, man, I'm sorry I stepped away, man. Who else had a dope movie before we close out?
Well, Taurus made a joke and said Medea, but if you find Medea Class Reunion, the play, not the movie, the play,
play.
there will be
The
some
play.
of the funniest things you have ever seen is in that
No
play.
shit.
Uncle
Hey, DJ.
Mr. Brand carrying his wife in a Pringle can and then spilling them on her. That is the funniest shit you will see.
Man, hey DJ, I had the opportunity last summer to share a radio show with a dude named Shay. He's a comedian, and he is the double for when Tyler Perry goes into person for somebody else.
Okay.
So he dresses as Medea when Tyler Perry does the uncle or does another character. Man, and like some of those stories, not taking anything from Tyler Perry because he's a funny dude. They do, but this dude Shay that I happened to meet, man, he's a comedian by trade, but he is some of the life of some of that stuff that you guys are talking about when Tyler Perry is in costume for someone else and they're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Man, some of that ad libbing and some of the shit that is funny is a result of him. I mean, that I don't know if anybody else knows that, but just something else behind the veil that the stunt double of Medea is a really, really, really funny guy.
Yeah.
And that's why the plays is where it's at, man. Because when they're riffing off of each other, like the plays are funny. I will shit on every one of his movies, but the plays are like, I'm so with you guys on that shit. That's dope shit. That's good feedback right there.
Are the plays like available? Like, are they like it's just like the play, then the camera just captures the entire play? Like is it available on Netflix or something like that?
My buddy
Not
gave
so
me a
much of the
bootleg copy
plays.
in high school.
Yeah, there you go, DJ.
But that's funny. Like he'll be going and he'll break character and he'll yell at people for popping gum in the audience, and it's just in the recording. It is so funny.
Yeah. Hound Dog, it's gonna be if you see that, it's gonna be some bootleg stuff because Tyler Perry, he started at the small houses and traveling all over the place, and then it caught on, and he started being in arenas, and then from arenas, he started making the movies, but it was really just a playwright.
Jay, cool. How do you feel about Tarantino movies?
Man, super duper fan of Tarantino movies. That's man. Gosh, that's my dude, man.
What's your like top 3 Tarantino movies?
Man, so man, Django, obviously, Glorious Bastards, and I'm 44, so that whole the series with Sam Jackson and my man John Travolta. That was during my high school years. Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
He picked the ones with the best scenes in it. You see, that's what he did. They got the best scenes in there. The rest of the movies are trash, man. Fuck all of them up.
Look, you can cope however you want. You can cope however you want, Keelan.
Matt, what's yours?
My favorite Tarantino movie?
Yeah.
Probably Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
It's just it's classic, and I love Michael Madsen. So, I mean, Kill Bill for Michael Madsen too. But yeah, I'm not the biggest Tarantino guy. I think Michael's probably bigger on Tarantino than I am.
Yeah, well, Mike asked the question, but I saw your face when I was talking, so I thought that maybe you was high on the list as well. Mike, what's yours?
They knew I don't fuck with. They fucking with me, man. They knew I don't fuck with Tarantino. That's all.
Let's see, like my top ones. Pulp Fiction's definitely in there somewhere in the top 3 for sure, because that was like that was really the catalyst. And then I went back and I watched like Reservoir Dogs and Four Rooms and some of the other stuff like True Romance, which I know that he didn't direct, but he kind of wrote. Hey,
yo,
you know, True Romance was definitely one of my like top 5 movies for a while. So, you know, that I don't give as a Tarantino movie, but just like one of my, I really love that movie. Hold on, my dogs are acting crazy. Right?
That was all for Jamie Lee Curtis, man. We know the real behind that, dog.
And let's see. If I had to choose like another one from the recent stuff or something that's after Pulp Fiction, I would probably go with Inglourious Bastards. I really like the tone of that movie big time.
Yeah.
I mean, Django's great acting, you know, like especially with homeboy that plays the villain and everything, Michael Waltz or whatever, Christopher Waltz.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, he was in Inglourious Bastard too.
Yeah.
He killed that shit.
That
He killed
opening
that scene. I
scene
can't
where
deny
they're
that.
trying to hide the family, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
That shit is money.
Dude, his ability to create tension, like in Inglourious Bastards, oh my gosh, like just, I mean, that whole movie's just so tense when Christopher Waltz is around the French lady, and just, I mean, just every little thing, man, you're just like, oh my god, this guy's he's gonna sniff her out, you know?
Yeah. I think that dude, he passed away too, though.
Christopher Waltz did?
No, the gentleman that was in Django and Inglourious Bastards, what's his name? Matt, I think you said it.
Michael Madsen?
No, I mean Mike. I'm sorry. The guy that was in that was, you know, Jamie Jamie Foxx is the guy the tooth guy, he was in Inglourious Bastards as well.
No, that's Christopher Waltz. That's Waltz.
That's Christopher Waltz.
The guy that was
okay. Yeah. I think he passed away. Excuse me. Is he still alive?
He's still rolling. Yeah.
Okay.
Still rolling. Yeah, that would hurt the film industry if we lost him, man. That would be a heartbreaker if he was gone.
They brought him back for the last Bond movie too. That was pretty dope.
He's been able to stay out of hot tubs apparently.
Oh wow.
Oh,
was that a shot at Matthew Perry?
Jesus.
Out of nowhere?
Too soon? Too soon? Too soon?
Yeah, Jay said, "Oh wow."
Wow.
Just sitting there trying to play pickleball, and man's like, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah.
Fuck Champ.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I done put dirt on that man. He's still killing.
Literally put dirt on him.
Literally.
Oh man, Matt, you a wild boy, yo.
It's sad this week.
Yeah, a lot of women in their 30s and 40s were very upset this week.
Yeah.
Let me draw my cigar now.
Yeah.
Hey Jay,
I don't.
What about this is one of my favorites, but what do you think about Old Country for No Men or No Country for Old Men?
Great movie.
Man, so I grew up in a household where we watched a lot of westerns. So I think I've seen parts of it. I've never just sit down and drilled into that movie, but I did give it a chance, and I can't speak on it though. But I'm a Western fan.
Dude,
ooh man,
I would highly recommend that one, man, from beginning to end, because there's so much nuance.
Yeah, dude. Like John said, it's so good. You're watching, and you get to the end of the movie, and you're like, "What the fuck did I just sit here this whole time to watch this movie for?"
It's damn good.
That's a good movie, man.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I grew up on Charles Bronson.
Yeah, Death Wish.
Man, Death Wish. Man, like, man, like those types. Man, I wasn't didn't grow up much on John Wayne, but like Clint Eastwood type shit.
Yeah, 310 to Yuma is a good one too from back.
Yeah. You know the so
old spaghetti westerns.
Right. So while it was, I don't know how y'all feel about. So while it had a Western feel, the direction and energy of it was more so about the gangster lifestyle. But like the whole Billy the Kid, Jesse James, those old school, like there's been some really great depictions of that era that touched on the kind of Western feel. You know what I mean?
Like Young Guns?
Horses, guys having to, build a fire to sleep, to go rob the next town or what have you. It wasn't all about just the gangster side of it. That was cool. I like those type of pictures as well.
Yeah.
John was talking about like
Yeah,
how
for
you
sure.
build attention. Like you look at any of those old Clint Eastwood movies, everything that he did with the good, the bad, and ugly, and that one character that went through all those movies, he was tense that whole time. Like you knew when he came into town, like okay, there's some shit is about to happen. But they also gave him, a background. They gave him a story. So yeah, I agree with you on that shit. You don't get movies like that no more. Best thing
No,
you can get to
no,
that is
and
like Red Dead Redemption.
right, and that's where like I'll give you for instance, good, bad, and different people feel about it, but Equalizer 3. So it's not Equalizer 2 for me. I think Equalizer 2 was the best part of the series, but Denzel Washington was such a great actor that Keelan he gave that agitation in certain scenes that where if it was somebody else, that the scene wouldn't have came across as appropriate as it should have been, because he is who he is. There's that the dynamic where he introduces or proposes a certain irritation to get the actor across from him to respond in a certain way, and only the good ones are able to do that.
I put my kids
Yeah.
on recently to old Bruce Lee movies. Like I turned them on to Fist of Fury, and what I was trying to show them through that is the same thing that you're getting from Denzel in that movie, the same thing that you get from Christopher Waltz, is that Bruce could put that tension in that movie. Like you feel everything. He didn't even have to say a lot of words. So you could just look at his eyes or look at the expression that he was making. He was like, okay, this dude is going back to avenge his master. He ain't taking no shit from anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 8 years old, and she's literally watching this movie twice a day now, because she's so like, she was like, Dad, look at his face when he's saying this, or look how he's clenching his fist. That's the shit that's in movies. You don't have to have all the, the kung fu and the wires and all that shit. It's the story behind the person that's in there. When you watching Denzel and Equalizer, you see all the tension that he's bringing with him from back in the day. Same thing with Training Day. You see the type of
Yeah.
dude that he is. All the subtle shit in the background. It's like, oh, okay, this makes the movie. It's not all about
Yeah.
bombs going off and Thanos and shit.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
think, man, even with some of our favorite sitcoms, it's been the antagonist is the one that we really grab a hold to. You look at Red Fox in Sanford and Son, antagonist. George Jefferson, antagonist. Archie Bunker, although he was a fucking bigot, racist in all the family, he was the antagonist. Even to my man on Married with Children. What's my man's name? Al Bundy. He was the antagonist. People gravitate. People gravitate to the guy that is giving the energy of indifference in there. You know what I mean? It just resonates.
Somebody was talking about Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men. Regardless of how I feel about those movies, the villain that he portrayed in that movie was just like, you felt every time he came on the scene. He was the perfect antagonist. And that's what makes those Bond films good. It's like the villains in there. If that villain is not right, the movie is trash.
Yep.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. Perfectly put.
100%.
Yeah, the funniest part about that is that dude is also like in Lyle Crocodile, and it's just hilarious that that's the same person in two different movies.
The same dude is like a stone cold killer in this other movie.
And he's singing and dancing with a CGI crocodile, and it's really, really good. It's so funny that that's the same dude.
What's the dude from Swingers? That he's a comedian. He played the same role in everything that he does.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. He played a villain in one movie. He was like some kid's stepdad.
He was like a mob boss or something like that.
I think he was. He was
my
like
boss
undercover
was
though. He like married this.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of something else.
Well, he was the stepdad in this, and he was an evil asshole. And like the way he kind of like started peeling back the onion, that you could see he was more evil as it went along. I don't know if somebody in the comments would know the movie I'm talking about. It's so underrated. People forget about it. I saw it in the theaters. He was the perfect villain in that movie, man. I can't think of what the name of that shit is.
He was bald and in jail at one
point.
point.
We've been talking about Denzel a little bit. Like, what about
he does that too, and he rips someone's throat out basically, and it's really creepy to see because it's Vince Vaughn doing it.
Yeah, dude, he can play a good villain, man. Yeah. What were you saying, Michael?
Oh, sorry, I didn't even hear the DJ was talking because there was a car driving by. Sorry, DJ. But what about Denzel and He Got Game? Like, he was a great antagonist in that was also like 100% behind his son pushing him, like, but still, kind of that villain role.
Hey, Michael, you 100%. I was gonna trick up the panel, going a different way, because there could be positive antagonism that people will resonate to. So I'm gonna tell you a series, and somebody said the word, but Crocodile Dundee. They did 3 separate movies about that, and nobody on here probably can talk about the main character, but Paul Hogan. Paul Hogan. Yeah.
Paul Hogan.
So, not that he was a villain or what have you, but what he did and who he was inside the movie antagonized everybody else because he was different.
Mm-hmm.
So the antagonist inside of a movie isn't always the villain. You can be different and impact everybody else and still be the antagonist in terms of the storyline of the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Borat.
Exactly.
Same shit. Love that movie.
1000%.
Looks like Peter's signing off. Thanks for chilling, dude.
Appreciate you, man. We've been on here for 3 hours. How's everybody's cigar? Everybody's the Paradise Alchemist. you killed that equalizer,
dude. It was really good, man. As I kept going through, I got more and more of that salinity you were talking about. But yeah, man, I liked it a lot, dude. Liked both of them a lot. Really good stuff, man. And yeah, I love that you're doing it for an affordable, fair price, man. Like we talked about that a lot on
not gouging people.
All these channels, man. It's awesome, dude. So yeah, no, rich cigars, man, for a good price.
Yeah, that's the that's one of the core competencies of Definition Cigars is not being cheesy, but to provide a product at an affordable price that's quality for the people. Remembering the people. Yes, I want to make money doing this. Don't get me wrong, but man, I want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have any plans to do like an LE?
Yeah. So it's funny you bring that up. The company's 5-year anniversary will be this January, and I got something cooking specific to the 5-year anniversary. It's going to be something named around the Roman numeral V, meaning 5. So it will be an LE mat. Also with the Genesis, it's in production right now. I probably won't release it until PCA in March, but extending it to a 6x52 Vitola, and also creating a Lancero in that cigar as well.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice, man. Looking forward to trying it.
Yeah. I'll make sure, man, in terms of the V, whatever I end up calling it, make sure y'all get a couple of those.
Thanks.
We'll definitely help you out, man. Yeah, thank you for being such a great guest, man. Especially rocking with us for 3 hours. I know that's a long time to do an interview, man. Yeah. But we appreciate you adding great content,
most
man.
Guests, most
great
guests,
nerdy.
Yeah. Most guests chime out like within like a couple hours. They hop off, and then it's just us five or us, whoever else is on. So you stayed the whole way, so thanks, dude.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
you,
just at my brother's house, man. We cooling here and just chilling. Probably
Much
gonna
love
chop
to
it
the
up with
brother,
him for a
man.
minute, and then go to sleep. It's 1:06 on the East Coast.
Damn. Yeah.
Appreciate you hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, fellas, man. Appreciate y'all having me, man. For sure. So thank you, guys.
No problem.
Bro.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes till the end, but we did start late, so this is probably not a bad time to end it for the almost 3 hour live stream.
Yeah,
we could
round up. Any?
Yeah, we can round up.
Leave out questions. Anybody in the group still watching? Got anything they want to ask me?
Anything real quick? And in the meantime, Jamond, you want to talk about how it was, because this was your first PCA that you went to, right?
Yeah.
In July. Want to talk about your experience having it be your first time, and like potential accounts you picked up, and just overall how it was.
Yeah. So PCA was cool. It was great to be able to share the cigars with people who may have seen them online or saw people have them, and them to be able to really understand the direction of the cigars, not just seeing a cool band. So it worked out. Was blessed enough to add some new customers to the fold who have introduced the cigars to their shop, and I'm over the next several weeks doing some traveling to hit some of those specific lounges. But more so than anything, Matt, it was just popping up on the radar. So for those of you guys who are hip hop heads, I explained it in this way. I think Definition Cigars for a lot of people were a cigar company that made a bunch of cool mixtapes, right? We was underground. And then PCA was our coming out to provide a full-length album to the community and show the entire brand and the blends and all that. So I think for the first time out, it was cool to people see that it's a real thing, and guys are trying to do things in the right way. And lastly, I talk about this with both Mike and DJ. Man, just the energy that you get from talking to cigar people. I say this often. While as much as I love cigars, I love cigar people better. And there was a lot of just good energy around cigars out there. So it was a positive experience for me. I'm looking forward to March.
Awesome.
Nice,
Hey,
man.
pop that trunk energy right there, man. That's big.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are 2:58. We'll call it there. But Jamond, freaking thank you for being on, man. Everybody in the chat, everybody watching, check out Definition Cigars. He makes good shit.
Good energy, baby.
We all smoked him tonight. They're freaking awesome. And yeah, just thanks for being on, Jamond.
Appreciate you guys, man. Everybody be safe.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, dude.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Fellas.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
See ya.